All right. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning from wherever you are following us. I'm glad that you're watching Afrique 24 Hour. And this is a political talk show that comes on your screen every night. And of course, we are trying to connect you with the African stories. So karibu sana, karibu sana wapendwa watazamaji na wapendwa wasikilizaji. I'm your host today, Leo Nyabaya. So I'm going to take you through some of the political talk show, and we are just going to discuss matters Kenya, things that are happening in our beloved country, and we're also going to try and weigh in how we can be able to change some of the things that we feel that are not being done well. So karibu sana. So as you're joining me, kindly ensure that you like the video, you share the video, and you also invite others so that we can be able to watch and discuss together. Of course, we are live in Afrique 24-hour TV. We're also live in Mtembei TV, Kenya News, and we're also live in Leo TV. So as you're joining us from our whichever channel, ensure that you like the video, share, and invite others. So it is another wonderful day, the 15th day of January 2024. Already, January has reached half, and we're having barely 15 days so that we can be able to wind up the month of January and we start the month of February. So a lot is happening within the country, a lot is happening, a lot is taking place. And that is why when we come here, we discuss issues affecting our country politically, economically, and even socially, as we also try to come up with ways in which we can change those that we feel are not good. So if you're joining me now, I'm just here to remind you that this is a Freak 24 hour. There's a political talk show that comes on your screens every day from 10 p.m. up to past midnight. And today, if you want to join the show and be part of the people who are going to discuss or part of the panelists, kindly I've shared the link on the comment section. You can use the link and join the show. Apart from that, you can also let us know where you are watching us from by just commenting on the comment section. You can also do so from YouTube, or whether you're watching us from Mtembei TV, that is Facebook and YouTube, just comment there with your name or with the place you are viewing from. So today I'm having some hot seat here with the panelists who are going to join me. We've seen what has been happening in this country for the last few weeks, and there is a rise, or there is an increase in political intolerance, whereby politicians, their followers, their sympathizers are becoming intolerant. They don't want to tolerate each other. So instead of solving some of the issues diplomatically or talking over it, people resort to violence, people resort to abuses, people resort to fighting. So we're just going to look at what are some of the consequences of intolerance in our society, which is Kenya, because what we know is that intolerance, it breeds some separation, some misunderstanding, hostility, and these are some of the things that leads to rebellion and civic disorder and the revolutions that we've seen. So where is Kenya headed today? Yes, Ochoki, karibu sana. I think, okay, I've added you. So before even we start our discussion, I've seen some people already like the video seminary chaks. Karibu sana ndugu yangu. I can see you over there. So kindly, if you're joining now, you can tell us where you're joining us from so that we can be able to read it and let other Kenyans know that there are so many people who've joined this show and are with us. So even before I welcome some of the people I'm with here in the studio, allow me just show you some of the videos. Or just I just want to play for you one video to tell you how a society has maybe what has happened to this country, that we feel that there is some political intolerance within us. So I can see Daniel updates. Good job. I'm from Ugunja constituency. So Daniel, thank you so much. Welcome. Say hi to your honorable member of parliament, Honorable Pio, and I, somebody, seminary church is also listening keenly. So just allow me play for you this one so that you can be able to listen.
Peperusha kidogo, peperusha. Baba, mi sina maneno. Tulipokuwa na wewe huko Awendo, ulituambia ya kwamba tupige hii watu wa oda. Na ukisikia jana walipigwa, wewe ndio ulisema Awendo.
I'll just start with that. So interesting, that kind of language. So, Honorable Alex, good afternoon from this end, and maybe just your opening remarks, just greetings. We know how you're feeling before maybe we proceed. I've just played you a small clip. I just want to help our viewers understand that maybe define what intolerance is and the kind of language that people resort to when people become intolerant. That is when they are not able to tolerate each other, when they're not able to speak and listen to each other. So I'm being reminded that Nick is my nickname is Asembo. That is Daniel Updates. Asembo, karibu sana. We are glad having you. So, Honorable Alex, good evening.
Good evening, Leo. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. It's a wonderful evening here in Africa, and there's a lot that is happening. I think you've been following. We are going to look at them in details, even in your home county. Specifically, you'll find that it is not only in the Nyanza, maybe the western parts of the country, the Nyanza, that is the Luo Nyanza and the Kisi part of Nyanza, but also if you look at what is happening in the central parts of this country and even in the Rift Valley. And this thing has really started degenerating. Even recently, I'll show you, even the parents have started becoming intolerant. You've seen them hosting teachers from offices, and they are sending teachers, they are manhandling teachers and sending them away. They don't even wait for the TSC to give them some letters or some transfer letters. So what is your take this evening? We just need to see when did the rain start beating us? When did we start losing humanity? And now, instead of talking to each other, we are now speaking at each other.
Leo, there's nothing called intolerance in Kenya. I think you're exaggerating. The environment that Ruto has brought in the country is what we are fighting against. This guy has become a dictator. He's taxing people to death. He's doing things that from electricity, from water, from housing levy and everything. He has made us to become vigilant. We've become revolutionary, and we are gathering our minds together to see how we can fight it. So there's nothing called intolerance. Even when these guys say, Baba, tukikuwa Awendo, ulituambia tuchape hawa watu wa UDA. It's not that we hate these people, but these people, the way they behave like larger than life, and they've become so. The, the, the way they behave from Chirchir, from Murkomen, from Sudi, from Cheregai, they've made the country look like we must fight to bring our country back. So there's nothing called intolerance. I think you are exaggerating here. What we are looking at is what Ruto has made this country to be and what the people are trying to do to bring the country back to sanity. That is how I view it. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Alex. As you say that there's nothing called intolerance, and your view is that William Ruto, that is the president, I think, who is the senior most leader in this country, has created an environment that people feel that they don't belong. People feel that their views are not being maybe heard, and they resort to other ways of solving problems. Because I think, when we talk of intolerance, you'll find that it leads to things like separation. There are people who feel that they are separated. There is misunderstanding. When the court says this, the other arm of the government is also going to say otherwise. There is hostility between groups. You've seen it. I'll play for you a video what happened in is it the other side where we're having in Silvana Sosoro's constituency. Yeah, and people, they don't have an opportunity to settle their disagreements by discussion, but they now resort to fighting. They resort to abusing each other, civil disorder. We've been seeing some demonstrations even by the learned senior counsels and even the lawyers. So you say this is not intolerance. That is really great, and I really appreciate that. And maybe because I just want to ask you, I think you might be able to understand this one better. I just want you to have a look at this, then you'll maybe give me your view on that. If this is what we need to be as a nation or as a country, and to make it worse, these kind of things they're happening between the communities that have been living peacefully, like what happened in South Mugirango. It is the people of South Mugirango are sorting their differences among themselves. It is not the people of South Migirango and maybe by with the people of Makueni or people of Cape Keres or people of Malindi, but it is South Migirango again. It's South Migirango. So just have a look at this, and maybe from that, I will still tell me if still that is not intolerance.
Kai, doje mumuanjete. Aya, toi wane. Bra yonde wensi kawocha, abodo abako egulibaga. Toi wane ine. Ebintu ibere. Abantu bamintu, boikangaga. Toi wane ine. Mwanya korora. No ane serikali ya etete. Ge kolete basariga. Gomono mbume na kora gochaga. Mbume na kora gocha mugirango. Mo wancha barai tusikane. Mo wancha pi. Ekiagera omwemsi nabwate gasiae. Omujumba gatwale gasiae. Mo seneta gatwale gasiae. Omo women rapo gatwale gasiae. No mo governor atwale gendo ke gasiae. Mo wanja boygo. Bono tiganda abole. Abana tia kominyokani abo. Apana fujo mugane tense egiewega. Ngoyo.
Osoro.
Aye, dakara tomamito. Oseria. Mwaka belina. Osoro. Oseria.
Yes, Mr. Alex, I'm back to you. That is South Migirango, and that is a governor who is elected. And maybe from the screams of the people, it can be able to tell you the person who is having some, I think they're having some ideological differences. But now the kind of reaction, the MP went there, and maybe what somebody would have expected is that the MP would go there and request to address his people and maybe congratulate the governor for distributing bursaries, or tell the governor that now that you've distributed this amount of bursaries as an MP, I'm also going to add on this because these are our children or these are our students. But that is what is happening. So how do you view that? Is it still not intolerance? Because it's like one faction, or maybe the MP wasn't tolerant enough to consume what the governor was saying.
That's still not intolerance. That's hatred. What you see there is something that we did not expect as Kisi people. Governor Simba Arati went to distribute bursaries forms so that children can get bursaries before they go to school. And he was addressing the people and asking them that, have you ever seen anybody bring bursaries in this place? And the people are saying no. And what happened was, and he told them, I will be bringing bursaries here because this place has been left behind. And all of a sudden, Osoro comes with AK-47 and starts shooting people. 12 people so far were shot. You cannot say that is intolerance. That's hatred. Because as leaders, there is a way you handle things. So Osoro is a moron. The way he handled that thing, and you saw today, maandamano yenye ilikuwa Kisii, we buried him in Bobasi, we put him in a coffin, and we said in 14 days, if he's not going to be taken to court, he will never step in Kisii. And the Kisii people were serious. And you saw this thing all over Kisii. It was not in South Mogirango only. It was in Bobasi, it was in Nyaribari, it was in Kitutu Chache, it was in Bonchari, it was in all constituencies. And Simba Arati was nowhere to be seen. It is the people, especially the MCS, who went to see the people that were shot for no apparent reason. Just because of hatred, somebody decides to go because Simba Arati, Simba Arati is so popular. Eddie Okech the other day said, if you remember, if Baba goes today, the only uniting factor that we have is Simba Arati. Remember when he went to the funeral of Mwita in Korea, how he was received. He was received as a national leader. So Osoro is having hatred that the popularity of Simba Arati. Everybody that was elected with Simba Arati deserted Simba Arati. Onyonka is deputy governor, is women rep, and is senator. But the people have never left Simba Arati. Whenever Simba Arati goes, people respect him because of two things. He has rooted out corruption. For instance, he told us a story whereby in Kisii Level 6 hospital, they used only to collect 40 million a month. When he fired the people that were in that office, the next month, they started collecting 180 million. In the second month, they collected 200 million. So these cartels are bitter that Simba Arati is rooting out corruption totally and completely, and is not even giving the people that he came with in the office contracts. He says contracts must be advertised, must be applied for, and people must win them. So hatred is the key here. There's nothing like intolerance. They
And
hate the
maybe,
man.
Alex, maybe just to ask you, because from what you're saying, there's a difference where Simba is saying that, when he went, the collection was low, he had to fire the people who used to conspire. Maybe in other words, you can say it's something like if we can describe it as corruption, which is denying the county government some revenue. So in other words, the corruption is fighting back. So do we say that this kind of violence that you are seeing, this kind of a continuous misunderstanding that is being displayed violently is because of people's personal economical interest?
Truly, because we never used to have any medicine in any hospital in Kisi. Today, you go to the hospitals in Kisi, from Mogembo, from Marani, sub-county hospitals, there is enough medication and people are able to test. You used to go to the hospital to test for blood pressure, to test for diabetes. You stay there the whole day. Timbarati has changed everything. When you go to check your blood pressure, you can't stay the whole day. The maximum time you can stay is 1 hour. And he has made it mandatory. He said blood pressure is not something somebody to stay the whole day. So these people were cartels who used to make a lot of money out of this. So corruption was ingrained in the Kisi County like crazy. And I can tell you, I'm from Kisi. Corruption is so bad, it was so bad in Kisi. But this man has come and is fighting corruption. And in fighting corruption, he is getting so many enemies. And in getting all these enemies, the guy still does not care. He is looking at the interests of the people. And the good thing is that the man has money. The man is courageous. And thirdly, the man does not care if he loses friends. So he has created an environment whereby if you want to go, you go, as long as he does his work in the right way. And he has been doing his work in the right way. And the cartels that were corrupt in Kisi are trying to fight him, but they are finding that this man, he was a goon from Nairobi. So when they try to fight him, they find that he has his own people to retaliate. So there is
Alex,
nothing they
just
can
hold
do.
on there. Tutarudi hapo, and actually I'll be engaging you on that. You've just mentioned of something. He was a goon in Nairobi, and the governor was quoted somewhere saying that no, people have been soft, and this softness is going to kill him. So just hold there. I can see Stella. Stella, karibu sana. It's glad having you this wonderful evening. And for those people also joining us for the first time, this is Afrique 24 Hour. This is a political talk show that comes on your screen each and every day, that is from 10 p.m. up to past midnight. And what we're discussing here are just matters Kenyan politics, the issues that affect Kenyans, and how we can be able to change those that we feel are not good, and how we can also be able to avoid those that are hurting us as Kenyans. And that is why here at Afrique 24 Hour, we are trying to connect you with African stories, and you're also trying to connect Kenyans across the world. So karibu sana Stella. Today we are just looking at, they've been rise in what I called it political intolerance, but according to my first panelist, he told me it is hatred. There's no intolerance in this country. And this is why I was saying it was intolerance, because when there's intolerance, it means people are not able to agree, people are not able to sort their issues amicably. I know you are an advocate and you know how things happen. Maybe when people have got some disagreements, you'll always have to get some better ways of solving it. But what has happened nowadays, if you disagree with somebody, you get your group of goons, they go heckle at them. You get your security, they go shoot on the air. You get a podium, maybe a political meeting, you hurl some unprinted words or some insult against your opponent. So it's a trend. Immediately we saw the results being released for the KCSE. It's so sad that even the parents have also not only the parents, today I even saw the students are also joining their parents to oster teachers that they feel did not meet their expectations. So, good evening and welcome. Just as your opening remarks, what is your view of the political intolerance or some kind of uncultured or maybe uncivilized way in which politicians and their followers are using to solve their problems recently? If you can hear me, Stella.
Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening, Leo and Ochoki. So, what I've understood, what is happening? What I can say, there is this thing about political intolerance. Also, I can also mention about indiscipline with among our county officers or CECs. So, as I heard Ochoki talking about the unfortunate incident, the one for Arati, where I think there was a shootout, then there was another one with the MP of I believe it was Peter Silasia, some sort of issue, having issues with his MCAs. So the thing about for Arati and the chief with Osoro, I think this is an issue of political struggle. Who is the famous? Who is the David? Who is the Goliath? So it's so unfortunate to see someone someone like Osoro, and we have someone like Arati who has been there in the political platform for a long time. What I understand, some people are telling me, I think the guy is performing. What he wants to do is removing the rot in the county, and it's not coming. I mean, they feel that he's rubbing the wrong people, and here is the issue. When you know very well you're working for the county, it is not for your selfish interest. It is the good for the people of that county. So if you have people like cartels and you have people who can able to to make control on how the county should run, and they supersede the governor, it's not fair. What I can say, someone like us, I mean, Arati, she should hold his ground. If you know there are these goons, please, it doesn't take you a long time to put these people in order, or you put your county officers in order. Because you see, a cartel, when he's running in the a cartel, if he's put in the county to supply air or to supply maybe goods and services, and I mean they inflate costs. The thing is, it is a right to come down and list these people in the newspaper, because you see, a cartel is a human being, and a cartel is supported by someone who works in the county. And this is what I'm saying. If what's his name? If Arati, he could start with the guys at the county, from the CEC, from his county officers. All these county officers, maybe they have failed to maybe to deliver. Fire them, rehire other people, or you do like the way Matangi was doing. Remove those people, bring the guys who do the forensic audits. They see where the money is getting lost. Then they can point out this officer, this officer, these officers. Then they are taken to court like any other civil servant. They are taken to court because of corruption. Until the matter is being determined, someone can be cleared or you're prosecuted. Another issue it's about the unfortunate incident on the KCPE and the KCAC. I don't know what is happening with this education system. Is it because when these papers were being marked by the invigilators, does it mean they did not pay invigilators, or there was an incompetence invigilator, or maybe the people felt like, since teachers are not willing to go and mark papers and they're not going to be paid they're not going to be paid their marking, the teachers are not going to be paid for marking. So you see, if you have teachers, you employ them, not employ them, you contract them to mark those papers. Long time I used to remember, during the time when we were sitting for our final exam, we had to wait for 2 months or we wait for a month. So it's so unfortunate. You have how many schools in the country or in the constituency, then you have all these papers are marked, then within 2 weeks there's a result. So that means there's a loophole somewhere. And this Ministry of Machogu has to countercheck what is going on. You cannot have one school, they've passed all of them science. Then you have another school, all of them have failed in one paper. Or you have another school, the marking scheme, maybe someone decided, since this paper have not been marked, a certain principal or a certain officer will be like, I think what you can do, give me something small, then we can able to. What I'm saying, Leo, there's a lot of interference, especially in our national issues. If you see students, especially like these people who want to join Form 1, you want to have people who want to join to the university, then they know, Leo, iko venye mtoto wako ni mwerevu, kama hata alikuwa a B material, give it a time, he can go and C plus material. If maybe your daughter was very good with some certain subjects and the other subjects, and there should be transparency. There should be transparency. At times you see even these people these days, there is no transparency even in our own system of government. And I don't know, is there an issue with governance in government? Because I don't understand, if you're an MP, you're given CDF money, you cannot account, but you're threatening to impeach you want to impeach the CS of finance because of your greediness, because of your entitlement. That's not fair. You have people like the governor. You see, the issue is, and I tell people, if you know that your governor, not your governor, if you know that your MP comes to the podium and comes and give you political nonsense, you as a Kenyan, do not go there and kind of give applaud. You need to question him. So you're coming here kwa baraza ya mazishi kwa sababu mtu alikufa because hangeingia hospitali. Kwa nini? Ile hospitali huyu mwenye the disease alienda, he was not attended to. Then you are seeing people, I mean, if you see the other one of Kagombe, the way he was fighting the guys in Gatundu, you saw how the Gatundu people were like, toka hapa, hakuna kitu natuambia.
Yes, Stella.
Iko wapi pesa ya
Naomba
nini
ushikilie tu
hospitali?
hapo tukiendelea. And maybe a quick question. I've seen somebody is also having a rebuttal, and I also want to bring in Simba Netaya. So maybe a quick question before as we proceed. You've said there might have been a problem with the marking of examination, or maybe how it was disseminated and are released. So what should the parents do? Because I'll just show you a video of how the parents reacted to that. So we don't say that everything was right. It might be that there was a problem with marking, either from the department of the examination council, maybe the people weren't
Walimu
paid,
hawakulipwa.
hawakulipwa. So
Leo,
is this one
sikia,
the right
Leo,
thing that should be done?
long time ago,
Okay, Stella, that is a head teacher, a principal, being escorted by students who are still students in the same school. They've not sat for the exam. So is that on the
but
right thing that they need
you
to do?
cannot fault at the principal. Who do you fault? You go
Yeah.
to the DOE, Department of Education on that county. You ask them what is happening, that we are getting some results which are not making sense. Sasa ukiendea principal, na principal si wewe mwenyewe alienda kupeana makaratasi zimakiwe. Sikia Leo, long time ago, I have teachers who are friends. What they used to do, every time when there's a national exam in a car, what they do, they collate all the papers, they go to NEC. So NEC, they start distributing where the papers are going to be marked. So now, if you see Nairobi County, they will decide, we'll take one center, maybe like Pangani Girls, that will be the center where the marking will be there. So what they do, they used to take teachers. Then they were being told that the marking will take like a month. So remember, when you're marking this paper, you cannot mark English as same as Chem, same as mathematics, as same as physics. This is about a solving issue, which you have to see how the student, how he has come out with a question, and how he has given out his answer in the end. So this thing does not take 2 or 3 days. Yes, if it is Kiswahili, composition, insha, those things are different. But the thing is, Leo, if you have teachers who are mathematicians, they would sit down, because everybody has a way of doing what? They have a way of doing their solution. Even you know, when you are sitting on your form 4, there was paper
Yeah.
1,
Yeah.
maths, paper 2, maths. Then you have
Yes.
chem, paper A, then you have practical and everything.
Yes.
Leo, we used to wait for 2 months or 1 month. Remember,
So
this
Shikili
teacher
hapo, we are
lazima
going to see
achukue.
there is also issue with the time, or maybe we are going to see, and maybe I'll give Mr. Choki just a minute. You are raising your hand, then nikaribishe Simba Netaya. So Stella, shikilia tu hapo. I'm coming back to you, Mr. Choki. What did you want to respond to?
I wanted to tell Stella that Simbarat did everything that he could. If there was the first governor who did a forensic audit for all that had happened in the county, it was Simbarat. If you remember, he did it. He finished. He found the culprits. He took them to court, and the court refused to prosecute them. Okay. Then he took them to Nairobi. He said, "This is what has been happening in Kisii. These are the people who supplied hot hair, and they were paid, because the forensic took 6 months, if you remember. But in Nairobi again, they refused to prosecute them. So if you are a governor, you have done the best to take these people to the court, and the court has refused to prosecute them. What do you do? Do you just allow corruption to continue, and you are the governor, and people still supply air and they are paid? What he did, he said, if the courts have refused, this is what I'm going to do. And that is what he did. Because Kisii County, for example, when Ongwae was the governor, he said that we had 5 fire trucks. We did not even have 1 fire truck. We had 40 employees in the fire department. We had no fire truck. Remember, when we audited the drivers that were in the county, some people did not even know how to drive a car. So when we called all the drivers to the stadium, and some of them were given keys to drive, they could not drive. So Simba Arati did the best forensic. But when he went to court, he was disappointed. So what he decided is to make sure that he does not allow these cartels to continue. So I will inform you that these people are fighting Simba Arati because Simba Arati has taken it in his hand to make sure that as a governor, no air is going to be sold and be and be paid. Secondly, no person in the executive, the CEE, the senator, the women rep is going to be given what? A contract. Because according to ethics, these people are not supposed to be given, because they are earning, they are government employees, and they are supposed to help the governor fight corruption. And that's why they're deserting him. And corruption has reduced under him. And that is why you are seeing people like Osoro fight him, his deputy governor fight him, a senator fight him, the women fight him. So I wanted to inform you that Kisi did a forensic audit that was thorough, that lasted for 6 months, and we found the culprits. We took them to court, and the court refused to prosecute them. And that is why we took it to our hands that we are not going to allow this to happen anymore. Thank you.
Can
Thank you
I
for that
can,
information. Oh, Stella, okay,
can I ask
okay,
Ochoki?
okay, you
I
can
need to
ask the
ask you
Choki
one.
question.
Yeah, Ochoki, I need to ask you one thing. You see, when you're doing a forensic audit, one thing, it's like a task force. So what happens? You put people on permanent, I mean, on a temporary leave, or maybe you give them a leave of absence. Now, the way you're saying that the court did not prosecute them, that means there's someone at the EACC did not do the homework, or someone at DCI they did not do the homework. So, because you see, now the thing is, there's something called evidence. If the forensics they found and there was an evidence, the ESCC or the DCI, they are responsible to do the investigation. But the court cannot be fault of releasing these people. It is because a parameter of ESCC or DCI, they never did their homework. Now, here is the issue, and I tell people, stop faulting the court. If you know, if the court went, it went against the process or the integrity, you have the right to go and question the court through the JSC to say that there was this judge who was holding this matter, or this magistrate. We need him to, you can appeal. And once you appeal, you come again with other evidence to show that this was left out, and this person, when he was in that docket like a CEC, what we have come to notice, money is disappearing, but there's no service delivery in the county. So what they do, they go check a background check. They see if this person alikujanga na alikuwa anakaa kwa nyumba ya 4,000, how come he can afford nyumba ya kulipa rent ya 50,000, or is acquiring properties in maybe in other counties, like the way
Stella,
how
Stella.
Sonko, ngoja kwanza Sonko, Ochoki, unaona the way, what is the name, the former governor wa Kiambu, baba yao
That was
Waititu,
called Ferdinand Waititu, eh? Their
Ferdinand
fathers.
Waititu. Very good. Now, what happened with Ferdinand Waititu? It was seen that this guy was using the county money to enrich himself. And you see what the government did, or what you see the court did. What they say that Watitu and his goons, they were taken to court and they were given a leave. But for Waititu, he was taken to the committee, or maybe he was impeached. Then what happens to the court? They give instruction to people, they are called Asset Recovery Authority. Attach all those properties, what he owns, utter anything which falls in his relatives. You saw the daughter's properties, they were attached because the people needed to do investigation to know how these proceeds they were getting, they can able to buy buildings in Nairobi. How this guy was buying houses in each and every place in Nairobi, but in upmarket in Karen. When they came and realized that this person was stealing money from the county coffers to enrich himself. Now, for Arati, what I can say, yes, he's doing his work. But the issue is, do not blame the court. Blame the parameters who are called the ESCC and the DCI. If they slept on the job, that is the fault of the DCI and the ESCC. In fact, hata nyinyi Ochoki, munateke mwende kwa ESCC. You need to know who is the officer who was holding that matter. If he failed to produce evidence, or if he failed to produce the investigation report, you hold him accountable, but not the court. You
Stella,
see, the judge cannot
just hold on
operate on
there.
hot air.
Actually, we are going to tackle that because in almost all these counties, it's happening. It happened in Siaya. It happened in Kisii. And even today, it was so evident in Busia. And now, what these governors and their opponents have resorted to, each person is having their goons, their cheer choir that will cheer at them, and they are also having their defense forces that are going to attack the opponents. We are going to look at that, and all this is matters of integrity. I like the way you are really defending the integrity of the court and really defending court. And if everybody will do that, then I think people will have trust in this court. So kabla pengine tuendelee, let me just welcome Simba Netaya and maybe to
No,
tell
before
us
Simba
something.
Netaya,
Yes.
Simba Netaya is my friend.
Okay.
Let me say something because I know he's going to talk about this. Because I
Oh,
know
I
he's going
know.
to talk. I know he's going to talk about this.
Okay.
When we resorted that these people must be fired, clanism came in. Onyonka said, if you fire our people, we are going to fight you. And then the Jaribari people came and said, if you fire our people, we are going to fight you. So the problem with Kisi was that clanism came in. After the ESE had decided that these people should be prosecuted, clanism came in, and Simba Arat now was being threatened by clans that you cannot fire our people. So that we will discuss that after Simba Netaya has spoken. Thank you.
Thank you. You're going to look at that. These matters of integrity in all these counties and all these wars, all this intolerance is because somebody somewhere feels that how I'm being threatened, and some of them also related to like the succession politics in 2027. So Simba Netaya, karibu sana, uweze kupatia maoni yako. Your county is affected. We've seen people fighting, yeah, and it's happening everywhere. We'll look at the Salasia, how he's solving his disputes openly, throwing slaps right, left, and center. We've seen the government using forces even in Migori. We've seen it today in Busia, and when people just told the governor that you're not doing anything, and they were expressing their dissatisfaction. So is this the new system or the new style of politics that we are adopting as a country, whereby we just become we cannot be able to sit and look into matters? Is it because people have lost hope in the courts that now they decide that instead of taking this governor to court, or instead of doing this, then we can organize some goons to go and attack the governor? Instead of Osoro maybe liaising with the Senator Onyonka, and they file some petition in the Senate so that they can be able kuchunguza what Simba is doing in Kisii, they decide that now we just want to shoot. So Simba, karibu. Na Julia pia nimekuona hapo, feel welcomed.
Asante sana bana leo my friend Alex, Julia na Stella, yes. Nashukuru sana kwa sababu ya muda huu na mambo ambayo yanatokea katika nchi yetu. Ni mambo ambayo, na nitawaomba sana mniruhusu niongee kwa Kiswahili. Nafikiria kila mtu ananielewa vizuri.
Imekubalika kabisa.
Yes. Kwanza kabisa nitaanzia nyumbani kwa sababu lazima tuanzie nyumbani. Nianzie swala la Simba Arati. Yeye ni gavana wangu, mimi nilimpigia kura, kituo changu ni Magenja Dispensary. Hapo ndio nimepiga katika county ya Kisii. Kwa hivyo nikiongea naongea with authority kama voter in Kisii County. What's happening in Kenya? Unajua watu waliahidiwa mbinguni na haitawahi fika. So the county governments ambazo zilikuja with the new constitution now 14 years down the line, imepakia kama ndio safe haven kwa yule mwananchi wa kawaida ambaye aliahidiwa na William Ruto, mama mboga, mtu wa baiskeli, hata mtu wa mkokoteni. Imepakia kwamba hao watu waweze kuangalia magavana wao na waona wanafanya nini, kwa sababu mahala ambapo wangesaidika hapako kabisa. Sasa imepaki kwamba lazima waangalie wale magavana ambao wamepakia kama ndio mahala ambapo wanaweza pata usaidizi. Lakini hata hivyo, baada ya haya yote kufanyika, what's happening in Kisii naweza sema ni kama sabotage ambayo ni administrative from the national government. Hatutawahi kuwa na mbunge, a member of parliament ako na pesa zake, governor ako na pesa zake, kila mtu anafanya kazi yake, kwamba kuna mwingiliano wowote. Halafu mahali ambapo hata risasi zimetumika nusura kutokea mauaji, IG Koome hajaongea. The county administrative committee in charge of security, hakuna mtu ametamka jambo lolote. Wanasema wanafanya uchunguzi. Haya ni mambo ya aibu kwa sasa hivi. Simba Arati wakati alichukua uongozi kutoka kwa Bwana Ongwae, na amesema kila mara hata mbele ya Rais William Ruto kwamba mambo ambayo alikutana nayo katika county offices yalikuwa ni mambo machafu. Ya haraka sana na nisisahau ni mochari ya Kisii ambayo alifukuza mtu mwenye alikuwa anafanya kazi kwa sababu ya kazi mbaya na vile kazi ilikuwa inafanyika huko. Juzi hivi wakati the Senate Committee in charge of health walikuwa wanatembelea hiyo mochari, it was rated number 1 in the entire region. Wakati ambapo tunaambiwa kwamba sijui Simba Arati anaweza linganishwa na Wamatangi, sijui Waititu, mimi sijui kama tunaweza kombea Simba Arati na the entire nation vile inakuwa run. It's true. Simba Arati inafaa kuwa ni benchmarking national government, inaenda kuangalia vile kazi inafaa kufanywa katika nchi mzima ya Kenya. National government iende benchmarking in Kisii County, waone vile ufisadi inapiganishwa, na halafu hizo sauti zote na kelele zote zinatokana na vita ya ufisadi, kwa sababu hilo jambo aliweza kufanyika kwa national government ambapo si William Ruto, lakini inafanyika huko chini. Haya mambo yote na yeye Powers Osoro ameomba kutoka kwa national government kuja kusabotage administration kwa county government of Kisii. Ni jambo la aibu sana. Mtu kama huyo badala apate usaidizi ili nchi iwe kwa mwelekeo safi. Anyway, hayo yote ni mambo ambayo watu wataongea kwa siku nyingine, lakini nafikiria leo Wakisii wameongea na ni sehemu kidogo tu na wataongea.
Asante sana. Watu wataongea na watazidi kuongea, na jinsi nilivyoanza nilisema kwa haya maneno hayatendeki tu eneo moja. Vitu kama hivi visa hivi vimeshuhudiwa pale mkoa wa Kati, vimeshuhudiwa mkoa wa Pwani, vimeshuhudiwa mkoa wa Nyanza na hata huko Western. Na hivi karibuni nikikaribisha Julia, wacha tu nikujulishe kuwa kumekuwa na vita. Ukianza Siaya, uende Busia, uende wapi? Manake tukienda Kisii watu wanasema kuwa kuna mikono ya serikali kuu. Serikali kuu manake wameona Simba Arati anafanya kazi na msimamo wake na chama cha upinzani, na vile alipewa cheo pale, yeye ndio nadhani naibu mwenyekiti wa chama cha ODM. So wanasema kuwa anapigwa vita ili aweze kupunguza muendo pale. Tukienda pale Western tumeona pale hadi mbunge anachapa na watu, anapiga watu makofi. Siku ya leo tumeona pale Busia gavana mwenyewe akikatazwa, akizuiliwa kuzungumza na wananchi ambao walikuwa wanahisi kuwa gavana tangu achaguliwe hajaweza kuwafanyia kazi. So kwa njia mwingine naweza sema kuwa Wakenya wameanza kuamka na wamepata kuwa wabunge pengine wamekosa kuwajibika na kupeleka watu pengine kotini ama pale bungeni kwenda kujadili jinsi wanavyotenda kazi. So wananchi wameanza kujifanyia kazi kulingana na kile kitendo tuliona pale Busia. Hawataki kungojea seneta wao, ingawaje tunajua seneta wa Busia anafanya kazi zaidi ya maseneta wote, na kazi yake mara nyingi ni ya kushughulikia wananchi wa Kenya mzima. So hawangojei Okiya Mtata pale apeleke mswada kuchunguza jinsi Otuoma anafanya kazi, lakini walijitokeza wenyewe wakasema, sisi Otuoma ni kama hatuna imani na wewe. Julia, karibu siku ya leo. You're just looking at, there've been some intolerance, there've been people have resorted to solving things traditionally, locally, without following due procedures, without following maybe the laws of the country. So when did we reach here, and why did we reach at a point whereby in this country kila mtu sasa ameanza kuchukua sheria mkononi mwake? And I have a feeling that if this one continues, we are going to get back to anarchy. We are going to see revolution, we are going to see rebellion, we are going to see a situation whereby hata mtoto akifukuzwa, akitumwa nyumbani aende alete karo pale, atashika mawe ama ashike matawi na ambie mwalimu mimi siendi. Karibu sana Julia.
Asante Leo, good to see you, good to see everybody. Sijui naona wengine, sijui Shiko, I think Shiko is there, Simba.
Tuko na Stella pale, tuko na Simba na tuko na Ochoki. Ochoki ni Honorable Alex mwenyewe. Hiyo ni lugha ya nyumbani leo.
Okay, Ochoki. Good to see everybody. Now, about Simba Arati and this other guy, mwenye the one who shot at the crowd or something. I think it's a war from the central government, just like someone has said. Nimesikia, is it true that Ruto called Simba Arati?
Okay, Simba Arati himself, he really complained that there's a harassment from the national government. And when you see somebody of his caliber saying that mimi nitasimama na chama changu na sitabadilisha mienendo yangu, so it tells you that there's a lot that has been happening.
What was your question, Julia?
Ati nimeona some bloggers ama sijui ni bloggers ati Simba Arati, because of that ati Ruto alipigia Simba Arati simu, sijui ni leo ama ni jana.
Yes, he did.
Yes, nimeona some bloggers saying that. So
yes, he did. And what they did was they sent Machogu so that Machogu can bring together Simba Arati and Osoro together to resolve it. But the people told Simba Arati it cannot happen. Osoro must go to court. Yes.
Yes, okay. I wanted to confirm. Okay, I wanted to confirm that. So Simba Arati is a threat to the national government. And another time I saw Simba Arati speaking, akasema yeye he will support back Baba to the end. And he's coming out as a very strong leader. He is coming out a daredevil leader. Mufanye che mnataka. You will not direct me what to do. So Ruto doesn't like those kind of people. So they must try to sabotage him as much as they can. And Simba Arati must stand because now he has the backing of the crowd. And I don't know what you people think. Simba Arati is taking the steps of Baba and might be the next, may not be the immediate next Baba, but in future we can see him representing that region in politics. That is that's the kind of a person I'm seeing. So about intolerance, it is not even intolerance, is what Koome, the CJ said today. It is anarchy. Koome said if the judiciary, the executive, and even the parliamentarians go rogue in public, saying they will not take court injunction, they will not take court orders, they will not do, and they get away with it. This is a recipe for chaos. Koome said, and he said she's preparing the nation for that. I liked her stand, and I think that is what is happening, that people think. That is why you saw is it the Cilicia MP who was fighting shamelessly people in public? Now you can just hana aibu. Who tells you can kick somebody? What if that person really kicks you proper?
Okay, this is what happened. Let me just show you so that
nikasema mpaka leo nifike hapa ili ya kwamba tusimame na muamini kesho. So mimi nataka niombee Mungu akaweze kuweka roho yake mahali pema. Sawa sawa. Asanteni sana. Na leo katui kana asikida. Enda kachini sasa. Enda kaa chini.
Please,
Enda kaa chini.
please time.
No, enda kaa chini. Enda kaa chini.
The MP, right?
So that is the member of parliament, and that is how he's directing his disagreement publicly. So
Yeah. He's the one who threw the first punch. You see, however much
actually,
you don't like a person, there's a way, if you're a leader, you must restrain. You must restrain from uttering things that we shall talk about later, doing things that we shall talk about later. You must restrain under all circumstances. So he threw the first punch. Why? Because now there is a mood of get away with things, get away with lawlessness. That is what Ruto is walking around telling people. Hata kuna huyu sijui senator wa Kiambu alikuwa anaongea ujinga. Alikuwa anasema ati treat this court orders as tissue paper. You see how they are saying? That is what Kenyans now. Leo and team, I hope you're not surprised to see how the public are also treating them. So very soon, not what a chapo na mawe na mobs. You let me tell you, for Mungiki, before Kirinyaga people took the law into their hands to deal with the Mungiki, it is because the law had failed and the government had failed. And one day, because I was in Kirinyaga, one day, some Kirinyaga villagers went to the hardwares and armed themselves with machetes, and they went hunting those Mungiki boys. The administrators tried to stop them. They were unstoppable. They took the law into their hands because the government had failed. Now, Ruto is walking around saying that he doesn't care about court orders. Those are the results of his statements. And he's gonna, the CJ today told him, more is coming. You talk about not taking court orders, you'll see what is happening. And I watched the follow-up question.
So maybe, Julia, if maybe I try to get you right, you're saying that yeah, it's true. There's some lawlessness and there's some intolerance, but you're saying these are precedents that has been set by the president himself by publicly ignoring the court orders, because we believe that the judiciary is one of the interpreters of the law and is the one that normally resolves conflicts. It's arbitrates on the conflict. So the president is to be blamed for putting the country in the situation we are in, if I got you right.
Yes, he has set the pace. So Osoro can go around and shoot in the crowd, and he's not been arrested today. I thought at least I saw the MP for Sirisha being taken to court. Osoro has not been arrested. Why? Because the president
is the majority whip. He's the one in charge of catering. He's the one who can bribe MPs to vote in a specific direction. So do you think the government can arrest such a powerful person? That is a tool that the government can use to make laws and amend laws in parliament.
Very good. So Kenyans now will also not obey the law. Let me tell you, that is what Kome said. You'll see, you want to see how people can disobey the law? It is the crowds that will not obey the law. And I wonder how many policemen they have to arrest crowds. So what Osoro did, I want to support the people of Kisii that he should not set foot there. Kenyans should even decide which MPs should set foot in their places from now henceforth. Should tell mukai uko mbunge, mkule uko mbunge, mukai uko Nairobi na msirudi. That is the trend Kenyans should take. You're not obeying the law, we don't see where you should obey the law. CJ has warned them. So me, I blame Ruto, but I am not surprised because these guys are thugs. Ni serikali ya majambazi. Let me post there.
So maybe Julia, as you pause there, Stella, I just want to maybe show you this video, and because I know you interact with the courtroom, and I'll just need to get your view, because we've seen citizens that they're the ones who are now calling for the police to come and arrest Osoro. So you'll tell me what maybe is happening in judiciary. Why should they be waiting for people to go and demonstrate that the lawbreakers be arrested? And if maybe that one doesn't happen next time, as Julia is saying, I think we'll start seeing people starting doing some mob arrests and arresting people on their own. So maybe let me just play this a minute. Sorry for
Yeah,
that. Stella,
yeah, I see
please,
that.
Julia.
Mm.
These are people who are now calling the people who are in charge of the justice system to move quickly and arrest Osoro. So, what happened to our judiciary? We also saw Kome giving some warning. So, and I like the way Stella normally defends the judiciary and the court system. So, Stella, what is happening in this case? What should be done at this particular point, or whom should we blame?
Okay, Leo, before she comes in, may I explain
She comes,
something?
Julia. I'll allow you, yes,
Yeah,
because you're the one who brought this.
you see, the judiciary doesn't arrest. The judiciary is to make rulings. The police arrest and the prosecutor are the ones who prosecute the people who commit crimes. So the only way that the judiciary can get around this is get their lawyers to go sue these people in courts of laws. Because even you, Leo, you can hire a lawyer right now, or if you're an advocate yourself, you can present that case in a court of law against Osoro. And I think even Simbarati should do that. I don't know why he's waiting
Yes.
that. He has the finances. He should get his lawyers at work and find evidence and sue him. Because as we are now here now, we should take advantage of this. There's war between the executive and the judiciary. And this war is, I think, is going to be there for the long haul, unless one unuliwe. So Simbarati and team should take this guy to court, because if you destroy my property and you come to my house, Leo, I'll not be waiting to, if I report this case to the police and they refuse to take my case, I can
Yes.
go to court. I can hire a lawyer and go to court. So
Yes.
I think that's what they need to do. That's my take.
But Julia, even on your take, you're saying these people should go to court. Huh?
Mhm.
We saw the other day the Secretary General of ODM and some ODM members were there and they visited the OCPD. I think they gave a 14-day ultimatum telling them that these guys need to be arrested. They need to go and record a statement in court. Huh? And
Mm.
apart from that, you also had the president saying that there are people who are now going to court, sponsoring cases, sponsoring cases, sponsoring cases. Yeah. So, like, they are trying to limit the level at which people should be going to court. The president was complaining that kuna watu binafsi wanaenda koti kila wakati, kila wakati, kila wakati. So, just as you try to put it, do you think it is a war between the judiciary and the executive, or they're trying to kupimana nguvu, who is more powerful?
Okay, whatever the case, there's lawlessness, and obviously this government will not help us. And if the judiciary is ready to listen, then we should take advantage of that. So, kupinana nguvu, si kupimana nguvu, it is things went sour between Kome team and Ruto. Wherever they went sour, I don't know why. There must be very, very many reasons coming up to the point, because I saw Kome talk today, and that she's back to her human rights activist. She was stunned, and the woman, and she said, no, this will not happen. And then later on, she was being asked questions. She was asked a question. You know what? When she was asked, have you tried to reach out to the president? She said, this, we have communicated to the president. And so we want him to provide information and evidence about those corrupt judges. Si ati sasa anagojea ati akona saa ya kusikia venye mtu anasema, anamwambia kama they are equals. If you have, put it in writing and bring it to me, bring it on. That is how Kome was responding. So whether there is a war or not, Leo, Kenyans should take advantage of this situation. This is the high time now. We can revive all those numerous cases that have been killed, even Gashagwa's money and all that bra bra bra. The team, we have people. I saw that team of advocates that were protesting. We have guys who are schooled. So let them now come and use their professionalism and bring the cases. And even if the cases are not concluded, they shall come. We shall start hounding these people now. Because I had a son, Gachagua was saying that at the last day, akona kesa na asijia tatoa asijia jaji fulani. Very good. How can a thief be talking about another thief? When even small children know Gachagua and Ruto are thieves. You see? It is the judiciary should have dared him to do that, and then get their lawyers on board and revive all the dirty things that the duo Gachagua and Ruto have done, and even their followers. Let's start that game. Let's start the war now. That's what Kome should be saying. But I think she knows what she's saying. And when she's saying that, we wrote to the president and we asked him to present the cases and the evidence. Sasa Ruto anazoea kuongea magari. Now he's been summoned. And at one point, Alex and Leo, I thought, kumbe hata huyu rais akuangi na nguvu sana. Kumbe kumbe
Rais akwangi na nguvu sana.
kumbe Kome can summon him and even decide that there is no government. You know,
So
I saw Kome's posture and I thought, wow. So Kumbe Kome has so much powers because you cannot just kick her out now. Kumbe Kome has so much power. She can just sit and decide. The president has done this, 1, 2, 3. So we are
but I think,
considering that
Julia,
case.
such kind of thing ever happened. The
Mhm.
former Chief Justice Maraga sometime recommended for the president to dissolve parliament, but
Mhm.
they can only give advice. It never happened.
No,
Do you think Kobe can
it is not
just
just
wake up and say,
advice.
yeah?
He recommended. He did not make a ruling that 1, 2, 3. So I think the way Kome is going, first you cannot touch Kome. She's not under Ruto. She's an independent in an independent commission. And for you to sack her, you need to do so many things about it. It is not just you wake up the days of Moy and you say, I fired the CJ. So the way she was talking, I got my point. She is so much empowered and she knows that legally, and she can go to the farthest end now. So if I were Ruto and Gashago, I would slow down because you don't know where this war is going to get in. And she's also getting sympathy from Kenyans, like not sympathy, support. She's reviving her spirit. Kama mimi leo nikaona, hey, kumbe huyu mama ako na nguvu. Kumbe she said we have written to the president. We expect him to reply, maybe to reply in writing. When somebody writes to you, Leo, in writing, Leo, can you reply to me in writing?
Yeah, I get
Provide
you.
evidence. Hiyo ni rais anaambiwa hivyo. Also, Kenya should now know kumbe hata urais ya kuangi na nguvu vile according to the constitution. Thank God to our constitution 2010. Now we should just thanking God now. Because saa hizi Kome
Yeah.
angekuwa kwa kazi. Ama what do you think? Saa
Maybe
hizi.
let me get the view of Alex. Alex, Julia is trying to tell us that now that the country is almost sliding into anarchy, and it seems the judiciary and the executive have fallen out. They are not in that agreement, or they are not enjoying that close relationship that they were enjoying before. Now Kenyans can take an advantage to revive those other cases, those other political cases that were dropped. Do you think that is possible? And maybe, to other words, if I read her mind, she's trying to say that this is now the time that the citizens, because when there is some intolerance, it leads to rebellion and it can also lead to revolution. So, what is your take on that?
If you have seen the last few days, Baba's rallies from Central until today in Teso,
Yeah.
you can see that people are taking the center stage, and people are more passionate and more united. They are just waiting for Baba to tell them what to do. So Julia is very right. If today Baba says, especially his tour in Central was very critical, and for the first time there was true love. There was true love to Baba, and these people were ready, and they were telling Baba twende
Yeah.
maandamano. And remember, Kioni and Karua were
Yeah.
pushing for it, but Baba became patient. And then from there, they went to other places. But today,
But
the
Alex, just
rally,
on the central, if I may ask you, I think there are so many times Raila have been going to central and they've really been cheered and welcomed, and people have really been saying, "Oh, tunataka maandamano." And the last time maandamano were called, we only saw few individuals going for maandamano. So what makes you think that right now that
No, no,
after
no.
looking at the crowd, you now feel that if
You
he
could
calls Maandamano,
Leo,
people will turn out?
Leo, stop being cheeky there. This time around,
I'm
the
just talking of what has happened before. Whenever Raila goes, he's never gone there and met an
then let me
empty,
explain to
maybe.
you.
Yes.
This time around, there was true passion for Baba, and you could see people ready.
Uh-huh.
Remember the Kiambu rally?
Yeah.
You could see people telling Baba what they want.
Yeah.
Baba did not tell them what they want, what he wants from them. It is the people who are telling Baba what they want.
Mm,
That central Mount Kenya rallies could tell you that the tides have changed.
I get it.
And then today, if you saw the rally in Teso,
Yes.
even though walikuwa wanakosana na Otuma na others, they
Yeah.
were united in one thing, to strengthen ODM by all necessary means, so
Uh-huh.
that as a movement,
Yeah.
they are ready for a revolution. So what Julia is saying is true. If Ruto does not listen, we
Mm,
are going to anarchy. And Martha Koome has seen it. And I think the intelligence has already told her that, look, Ruto has failed. His own people have refused him. His own people from Bomet, Kericho, the only people who are still in love with him is Nandi. But Eldoret, people have refused him. Unaelewa?
I
If you go
get
to
you. I
coast,
get you. I get you.
if you go to coast,
Yeah.
there's nothing Ruto can do there. In Kisi, he has been rejected totally.
So do you see
If
a
you saw,
possibility of right now people maybe revolting against Ruto given an opportunity?
if you saw in Kuria the funeral of Mwita, did you see the funeral of Mwita?
Yes,
When
I
Simba entered, when Simba entered,
yes.
they told him that you are the one who is going to lead us in this revolution. You like it or not. So Julia is very right when she says that if 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 the country has degenerated, and it's Ruto who has created this situation whereby people like Osoro can do anything without being prosecuted. Chirchir, Murkomen, Sudi, Cheregai, they can say anything. Cheriot, they can say anything, and they are not prosecuted. If it has reached that point, Martha Koome is acting because two things are going to happen. The LSK election is coming, which is going to be very contagious. Secondly, for the first time, the lawyers went for a strike, and it was so electric. Martha Koome feared that these people, if they come together, they can take him out. So Martha Koome has decided to take the rule of the law and do what is right. Because when Ruto said he can use the sword and he can do anything, it made people so mad. And remember, he said that thing in the Kisi. And people told him, you cannot do this. The rule of the law must be followed. So Martha Koome has realized, look, if all these lawyers have gone to a strike and have told Ruto there is nothing you can do. Imagine lawyers going to strike. You can imagine nurses going to strike. You can imagine the teachers going to strike. You can imagine industrial people going to strike. But did you ever imagine the lawyers going to strike in the way they went? Did you ever imagine in your life?
No, really, people can't imagine of lawyers going to strike because people normally believe that whenever there is a problem, lawyers the ones are going to get some amicable solution through the courts of law, and it's rare for you to see lawyers now going to strike, and people will really wonder if
Not
lawyers
even
can go and
rare.
strike.
It
Yeah,
was the first time in the
yeah,
history of
yeah,
Kenya.
yeah. Actually,
So what I'm telling you is that it
yeah.
is difficult for Ruto right now. No, it's difficult for Koome right now to go against the rule of the law, the way she used to do things. Now, the only solution she has is to do things in the right way. And the right way is to to warn the judiciary, to warn the executive of the things that they have been doing are not being prosecuted. Now, what Julia is saying is if Martha Koome does not start prosecuting these people, people are going to take law in their hands, and we are going to see anarchy. And if anarchy starts in Kenya, uh, let me tell you, Ruto will go. He can't survive. He can't survive because his people cannot defend him. Okay? So
May I
what we
know,
saw,
Alex? Maybe even as you may I know which kind of defense you're saying his people cannot defend him? Do you mean the kind of defense that we've seen? Like today, we saw some people carrying clubs and rungus. When we went to Migori, we went to Kisi. So, which kind of defense are you talking about when you say his people cannot defend him? And who are these you're calling his people?
his people are the Bobet. His people are Kericho people. His people are Nandi people. His people are Eldoret people. If you look at the price of maize, it has gone down. The economy of his people has totally gone down. And his people are complaining and saying that he is worse than Uhuru. When Uhuru was there, at least they were getting money. That's what they have said. You have heard them say that on
Uh-huh.
TV, and it's very funny. So I'm saying that Ruto
Yes.
needs to do something. You know, when Moi used to be in power,
Hmm.
he protected his people. We used to hear that kulikuwa na barabara zinaenda Kabarak,
Mm.
hakuna magari zinaenda huko, ng'ombe
Mm.
zinalala kwa barabara.
Hmm.
Okay, Moi made Moi University. Moi
Yeah.
made Eldoret to be what it is.
Yes.
Moi used to go to Nakuru. So Nakuru, Eldoret, Sacho, Kabarak,
Yeah.
Moi made sure that his people were well protected. Even though he took care of the whole country, but he also took care of his people. Ruto has failed to take care of his people. Ruto is taking care of the cronies, okay, like Chirchir. And that's why when Chirchir went to Bomet, he was refused. When Murkomen goes to his own home in Elgeyo Marakwet, he has been chased 3 times.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm telling you that even his people cannot protect him now. If his own people cannot protect him now, and the
Hmm.
country is mad because of he's forcing the housing levy, the NHIF 6%, all these taxes. Imagine if your paycheck is 60,000, you end up getting 25,000. Now, 25,000 unalipa nyumba pesa ngapi? Transport yako ni ngapi? Unaendea job? Watoto wako unawapeleka shule wapi? People are hurting.
I get you. Alex, ukishikilia tu hapo, I know you can see the Kenyan revolutionary when you are talking anafinya much. I don't know what is up. So Kenyan revolutionary, karibu sana, and to our viewers, this is a
Hiyo
free 24
kikombe,
hour.
hiyo kikombe
Uh,
ako
hii
nayo,
mambo ya
hiyo
kikombe
sio ya
atatuambia hii
chai.
kikombe inamaanisha nini.
No,
Kenyan
hiyo
revolutionary
hiyo kikombe sio ya chai.
tutazungumzia hiyo. So Kenyan revolutionary, today we are just looking at what is happening of late. I think you've been following what is taking place, and if I go by the words of the Chief Justice today, she described it like we are falling or sliding back to anarchy. People are taking law in their hands. You've seen the members of parliament taking law in their hands, just slapping people left and right. We've seen people storming other people's meeting, yeah, and creating chaos. Today, even in Busia, we saw people stopping their governor from speaking. They are showing some dissatisfaction. We've seen lawyers going on a strike, something that is so strange that has never happened. We've never seen lawyers downing, going on strike, demonstrating, not strike, sorry, but demonstrating. Lawyers pia wamebeba matawi, wanasema haki yetu, haki yetu. They are the people that we normally expect that are going to simamia haki yetu, but we've seen them wanaenda wanaandamana. And Alex, I think you've also mentioned something that we were to look at about the coming elections of the LSK. And so far, if you watch news, the presidential aspirants in the upcoming LSK elections have raised some concerns or some complaints that the government, in specific the Kenya Kwanza members, are trying to interfere with
Not
these
are
elections.
trying, they are
They are
interfering.
interfering with the election. So maybe Stella, I'll give you the first opportunity. You'll tell us how is this LSK is so significant, and why would the government get interested in the LSK elections? Could it be that the government have seen that the LSK have really been opposing them and have really been acting as people's watchdog and opposing things that they don't like? So now they want to put people whom they can control. Remember, we've had so many people in that position, like this Nelson Harvey was also once there. We've had people like Umtua. We've had people who've been so vocal, and we've also had people who've been so mute to an extent that somebody will not feel the feel maybe this LSK. So Stella, that one has just come, and maybe you can be able to elaborate on that.
Um, I don't have in much comment about that, but I've been hearing things underground. The election is coming on up on 29th of when is my calendar? Anyway, the Nini it's coming on 29th. Now the issue with the interference with the KK, they are trying to look for someone who they can able to bully. Remember, LSK advocate, I mean the advocate fraternity. You need to be bold. You know why you were appointed as an advocate, because you're there to follow the constitution. So the KK who feel that they can able to bulldoze us to we go to their way. I mean, this is not fair. And some members in the fraternity, they feel like if the election is going to be interfered, I think we are not going to have a fraternity which cannot kind of support I mean our rights, also the constitution. But I'm not fully conversant with it. But that day of the election, I think I can get more information. But of now, I cannot comment on it.
Leo, you are mute.
Oh,
Leo,
sorry,
you are
sorry, 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 sorry. I hope you can now hear me. Kenya Revolutionary just rejoin. I think we'll be able to listen to you. So this one goes to Julia, and I just want to play this video. What happened in Busia in relation to what she said? Does it mean that the opposition or the members of Azimio are now gaining momentum? Because what is happening, they call it the membership recruitment or some membership drive, but it turns out that this thing is getting momentum each and every time. Like what I saw in Busia, what I saw in Kisi, what I saw in Migori, and I'll get your comments, all of you. Does it mean that this Azimio or the opposition is now gaining some momentum? Kenya Revolutionary, can you be able to just give your opening remarks before I play this video that we want to?
Yes, Leo, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, yeah?
I'll just make it short. I was listening to two people I was listening to. There's a show called Panuel Show. It's a South African show. And they had a young man over there, and he was speaking about how the Europeans or Western powers have compromised, used the ANC leaders, gave them positions, put them on as board members of these big corporations, to a point where they did not stick to their principles, and they were compromised, and ANC became corrupt. Then I was listening to Amalwa, not Kijana Amalwa, his brother, who was on Spice FM in the morning in Spice FM. And he was criticizing the government, and also he was honest enough to admit that whatever is happening in this government, Ruto's government, is no different from what the Azimio side has done. Okay, of course, he was blaming the government of the day, but basically, what this government is doing is no different from what Kenyatta was doing, Uhuru Kenyatta. And again, I keep on usually say this, you know, it's so funny how this is, and let me just make it short. It's funny how when this president does the same things that Uhuru Kenyatta was doing, there's such an outrage. When Uhuru Kenyatta openly said that he will not care about what the judiciary said, Maraga spoke out, but there was no mandamano. You know, Raila did not call for a mandamano, but Ruto says it, and now we want to go to mandamano. Koome also, you know, is speaking out, which she should anyway. But my theory is this whole thing, and you can hear them, all of them, they're talking about anarchy, mandamano. It's predictive programming. They're programming the Kenyan people for the upcoming mother of all mandamanos. Like I usually say, they have to create an atmosphere for Kenyan people to accept the upcoming BBI. This is all done to whip up motions for people to go out there and waandamane. Ndio sasa ghasia ikifanyika, they'll come in and say, oh, these two people should sit down and agree on something so we can have peace. And there shall they bring BBI. And that's why I'm saying all these colonial puppets, both Raila Odinga, Ruto, and Koome, are working towards one goal, and that's BBI, because they know if they want to bring BBI just like right now, no one will accept it. Because listen, and I finish with this. If you look at what Osoro is doing, whatever is doing, Salasia and all these people, politicians, they can all go to jail. I mean, if you looked at the weekend, there was a politician in the funeral who actually explicitly said that Raila Odinga ulituambia tupige hao watu wa UDA. Orengo said it a few months ago, a few weeks ago, said he will pay anyone that beats up anyone that is a UDA in Nyanza province. And these people should be, Onego Rovigi, they should be beaten up. These are criminals. That's what I'm saying. I keep on telling people here.
So that is why I was asking before you joined.
I'm answering your question in general.
Okay.
So that's why I keep on saying ODM, especially Azimio, is a terrorist organization. Okay? And the whole thing, they're in cahoots with Ruto. They are working up a BBI deal. All this Martha Koome talking about anarchy, that's what they want in order for us to accept it. But anyway, go ahead.
I know people are going to rebuttal that and maybe respond to that, and maybe just a matter of clarity. These
Peperusha kidogo. Peperusha. Baba, mi sina maneno. Tulipokuwa na wewe huko Awendo, ulituambia ya kwamba tupige hii watu wa oda. Na ukisikia jana walipigwa, wewe ndio ulisema Awendo.
I think you've been corrected there, but before, just listen to this.
There comes a time that a community must decide to stay together. There comes a time that a community must decide to design itself and to stick together no matter your situation. Waneno chae moro Nyanza ka. To yawut baba osewuok. Waneno chae Nyanza ka endi ji wacho wach mar democracy. An baba Raila Amolo Odinga opuonja democracy nyaka America. Kadhi America kiwacho democracy, there is something we call blue state. Blue state in America are regions that belong to Democrats. To nitie gima iluongo ni red states in America. In America, red states naturally since 200 years ago belong to Republicans. And then there's something we call swing states. There is no day people will go to blue states and joke with Democrats. I'm telling you today, we have decided Kenya is a democracy. And as a democracy, even in our constitution, it is clearly stated that Kenya is a multi-party democracy. And in this multi-party, in this country, there are regions that are UDA. And there are regions that are ODM. Nyanza is an ODM zone. And I'm telling you today, we the children of Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, Baba in koro yue, isegorine piny moromo, yue. In Nyanza, we will not allow anybody who tries to bring something that is not ODM.
Okay, let me stop it there. Revolutionary, I know you understand the language well. Maybe you can rephrase it and tell me if it is making some sense. He is talking of the blue states and the red states, yeah? And relating it to democracy. You've earlier talked of such kind of things. So let me give it back to you. I know people want to react on it. I'll give an opportunity to everyone.
Yeah, the person who was speaking, can you hear me, Leo?
I can hear you. I can hear you clearly.
The person speaking obviously is counting on the crowd's ignorance to make his point. Just because you have a blue state doesn't mean, for example, let me give you an example. Michigan can be or let me use California. California can be a blue state, which basically means traditionally they tend to go vote for Democrats, okay? But that does not mean that that state cannot vote for a Republican, or they don't have a Republican chapter in California.
No, he didn't talk of voting, though I'll not maybe engage on that.
Listen, I'm going by what he was saying. Leo.
All right, okay.
What he was trying to say is that this is an ODM zone, trying to liken that with the blue states and red states, that the ODM zone, so they should not allow basically any other person, UDA or Kenya Kwanza in the ODM zone. And I'm trying to say that what he fails to explain to the audience is that even in these blue states and even red states, sometimes these states vote for a Democrat if it's a red state which are Republican, sometimes Democrats win in those states. And same thing, if it's a blue state, sometimes a Republican wins in those states because there's tolerance. People are not forced. They don't say, okay, this state is only Democrat, and if we see a Republican, we shall beat him up, like they're saying. So that whoever is speaking there is, of course, is playing into their ignorance. And if you didn't know better, you've never been to America, you think that he's saying something that's the gospel truth. So the person speaking there, I don't know who he is, but he's I know he knows the truth, but he's playing into people's ignorance. That's all I can say.
Thank you. The person speaking, maybe just to remind you, that is Eddie, the senator for Migori County. So maybe I'll give it to Julia. You know, Julia has got a lot that you want to say, maybe to respond. And that is why I said there's a lot of intolerance in this country. So Julia, back to you. Mzee Penyegaka, nimekuona, nitakukaribisha hivi karibuni.
Okay, Asante. I just want to comment about what Kenya Revolutionary has said, that Mother Koome and the team are preparing Kenya for BBI. I don't know why in your wildest dream BBI always comes to your mind. Now, who started this whole drama? It is Ruto who started by saying that he will defy court orders, and then his MPs followed suit. So let's imagine that he didn't do that. Do you think Mother Koome would be talking the things she's speaking? No. So Ruto simply gave her the platform. Now, about telling us that now Mother is preparing, who is preparing people for Maandamano? Is Mother also in Azimio, that she's preparing people for Maandamano, that she's getting the stage ready for Maandamano? Mother doesn't work for Azimio. I don't remember when Mother was last working for Azimio. If you are told, you're trying to say that the way she spoke today, she's preparing people for Maandamano, and so that we can have BBI, and so that we can have the creation of seats. You know, I don't see how that is connecting, unless also Ruto is also working for Azimio, and therefore Ruto is also preparing people for Maandamano, so that we have BBI. Because you just said that Ruto is the one who started saying they will not obey court orders, and he's the one who started saying that the court is corrupt, and he's the one who started saying that all those court orders to stop his projects are coming from somewhere. So, and he went on ranting. His MPs are ranting. The senators are ranting. One senator in Kiambu was saying that these court orders, you shall cease your paper. And so then Mother reacts today. So now you also said that when Uhuru said that he was not going to obey court orders, we didn't see the lawyers protesting. They should have protested. Two wrongs cannot make a right. In fact, they should have protested when Uhuru did the same. It was not right. So you are not trying to say because Uhuru did this, so Ruto should do and get away with that. Come on. For how long can we do this compromising? Because so if Moi stole, so if Ruto steals, that is okay. Now you're trying to say that revolutionary, if your neighbor beats his wife, and so it's okay for you to beat your wife because your neighbor beat his wife and nothing was done to him, and the wife did not run away. So because your neighbor beat his wife and the wife did not run away, so revolutionary can also beat up his wife, and because the wife, nothing was done to the other neighbor. We can't, two wrongs never, we can't go on like this in Kenya. And me, what I'm saying, you can argue about Ruto and Baba being puppets. I'll not defend any one of them. They can be puppets or not. But what Mother said, what Mother is doing is right for Kenya. If she has decided for once to stand for the law, that is the direction she should have taken when this election was contested. She should have done that. So if she decides to do that now, she will help this nation, and whatever happens to her, because right now, I hope she knows that the Kenya Kwanza government may be plotting a lot of things against her, which may not exclude even harming her. She should be very careful about herself, because these are criminals. This is serikali nitasema hapa without fear of contradiction, ni serikali ya majambazi. Ruto said rule by the sword, and he said hiyo sword yake si ya kukata boga. He also said the other day he will send people to heaven. I wonder whether he doesn't know he could reach heaven before those people. So sending people to heaven means assassinating them. That is what how else can you send people to heaven? We are Africans and we are religious, and we only know that people go to heaven when they die. So when he said he can send people to heaven, is because he says he can assassinate them. So we are talking about a criminal here who walks around threatening people. So when mother talks about it, you want us to be quiet because people were quiet when Uhuru said he would defy court orders. Uhuru didn't do anything right. I mean, what Uhuru did wasn't right. So we are not saying Uhuru was right by saying he defied court orders. But we are not also going to stand more Uhurus or worse Uhurus doing the same thing. So that is what mother is trying to say. So me, I stand my mother, and you need, when you come back revolutionary, you explain to us where mother and BBI are coming, whether mother also works for BBI or mother works for Azmio, so that mother is bringing in the BBI. Thanks, Leo.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That is how it is here. I can see it's really getting hot, and I like the part revolutionary is saying that Uhuru did the same. But the question is, if Uhuru did the same, should Ruto also follow the suit? Because I believe revolutionary have always told us that he's one man who believes that there's nothing good that Uhuru did. So should Ruto continue doing the same evil? So that question that I think you'll be able to respond to
That's
later.
not what I said, Leo. You both
Okay.
missed my point. But
I'll
I'll
give
let
you time.
everybody
I'll
else.
give you time. I'll give you
Okay,
time
but
to
you have to
explain
be
that.
accurate in what I was saying.
Okay, sorry if you didn't say it today, but I remember you said it some time before. So before I bring in Alex, let me just remind those people who are joining us for the first time or the ones who are joining us now that this is a Freak 24 hour. This is a political talk that comes on your screen every day from 10 p.m. up to past midnight. And today we're just looking at the political intolerance in this country. I've just played for you a video of what was said by the Migori Senator Eddie, who was trying to explain that we are having the blue and the red states, relating that in Kenya we are also having the yellow and the orange states, and the Nyanza is an orange state. And he said the people of Nyanza, they will not allow somebody to go there and sell the yellow colors because it is an orange state. And these are some of the things that when you look at them deep, it's intolerant. We are not tolerating each other. What happens next when you go there with your yellow? People obviously will have to fight you. People obviously will have to hurl some insults against you. We've seen it. We've even seen the MPs themselves fighting. We've even seen people being prevented from attending specific meetings. So, is this the way we want to go as a nation? So, Alex, I know you're having some responses to the Kenya Revolutionary, so I'll give you some 2 minutes. Then I welcome Pen Nyagaka. I can see is also in the house.
You know, I don't know what my good friend Revolutionary smokes sometimes. I hope he smokes something that is good.
No, he drinks. He drinks from a red cup.
No. He smokes something that is weird. But Kenya Revolution, let me tell you, it is a fact. When you are a presidential candidate in this country, you already know. If you are a Republican, Texas ni yako, Ohio ni yako. Stop saying that. There is no way right now, if you are a presidential candidate, unaweza sema that a Democrat can win Texas or Oklahoma or some states. There are states that you know completely are yours. And then there are swing states now, mnaanza kupigania, especially Florida and Ohio, which now zinafanya you win the elections. So what Eddie is saying is a fact. When you are a Democrat, you know New York ni yako, you know California ni yako. Now you said it very well. It doesn't mean that there won't be elements of Republicans that will win some districts. but as a whole state, because you know how they they allocate the electoral system. They don't allocate because a Republican won a certain seat. The electoral system is very clear. If it is 15, they give it to the Democrats. That was what Eddie was saying. Stop, stop lying to people. Hata utingishe kichwa yako mara ngapi, it doesn't matter. New York inakuanga ya Democrats. California inakuanga ya Democrats. So what Eddie was saying is that Nyanza is an orange state, an orange area, and it will remain whether you like it or not. UDA will never win in Migori. UDA will never win in Homa Bay. UDA will never win in Kisii. UDA will never win in Kisumu, nor in Siaya. So what Eddie was saying is true. Stop criticizing him, knowing very well it's true. And you know very well, we as ODM, we cannot go to Bomet and win. We can't. We can't go to Kericho and win. We can't go to Nani and win. Mr. Leo, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Let's not interchange facts and start lying here. So what Eddie was saying is true, that let us make this and this region more orange. The only place in Migori that UDA wins is Kurialand, and we agree. We
So
don't
Kure is a
disagree.
swing state?
It's not a swing state, it's a UDA state. It's not a swing state, it's a UDA state. So huwezi niambia that UDA can win in Siaya. It can never, over your dead body. So what I'm saying is that what Eddie was saying was a fact. Let's make this place more orange. You saw what happened in Teso today. Teso decided that they have made it orange completely. I never knew that Teso is an orange place. Kumbe Teso was #1 in the whole country in voting what? Kilifi at some point voted everybody from the governor to MCA, women rep. What? ODM. So let's agree there are some places that now are swing states, like Nairobi. Nairobi is a swing state, whereby Sakaja can win, Kidero can win, Sonko can win, anybody can win, depending on how you present your manifesto. But there are some areas that are completely yellow and some places that are completely orange. It used to be like Central, it was red. Unfortunately, last time ikatoka red ikaenda yellow. I hope itatoka yellow irudi red tena. I hope, Julia, I hope that can happen so that we can balance the way the democracy works. So what Eddie was saying is true. Let us not spin it and look like Eddie is lying. That's what I
Thank
wanted
you,
to say.
thank you, Alex, for that. And maybe before I welcome Pen Nyagaka, just to remind you, if you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe to Afrique 24 so that you don't miss this kind of discussion. It's always nice having guys here so that we can be able to discuss freely. So, just discussing matters, Kenyan politics, there is a lot of intolerance, and also the issue that is coming up. We are seeing. ODM doing some membership registration, but these things are turning out to be political meetings. And Kenya Revolutionary is trying to tell us that they're trying to prepare people mentally for the upcoming BBI. I know I'll give you time to explain to us how this is possible, how William Ruto and the Kome and Raila can decide to conspire to prepare Kenyans physically. So let me welcome Pen Nyagaka, alafu tuendelee. Bwana Pen,
Hey,
karibu.
habari yako Leo?
Nzuri sana.
Habari Alex Mwiwa Pachoki Sito. Habari yako Kolera Churi. Habari yako Revolutionary. That's the reason why I came here today is hiyo kitu ya huyu nani alikuwa anasema huyu nani Eddie. Alikuwa is lying. It can't be 200 years. People, the states have been blue and red. 200 years. That's a pure and unadulterated lie. Kwa sababu Alex, when we came here with your dad, Texas ilikuwa Democrat, ilikuwa governor anaitwa Mark White, Anna Richards, senator anaitwa Lloyd Benson. All those you can look it up and you see it. Lakini leo sahi, this time as we speak, Texas is a red state, so it can't be 200 years. California was a Republican state when we came here, but today California is a pure Democrat state. New York, there was a time you would get a Republican to win, a Democrat to win, but now it has swung all the way to Democrat. So when somebody like the governor of Godia stands and speaks that the states have been, and he quotes the United States, that they have been 200 years red and blue, that's a pure lie, like in Georgia right now, Georgia is moving towards Democrat from red to blue. That's why Biden won over there. So we are a young democracy. We will proceed to where the KK will win the place that they never won. The ODM or as ODM or as whatever you call it, they will win where they never won. If we are going to be a true Democrat, but tukiendelea kuwa kama ni dictatorship, hapo ndio itakuwa ngumu. That way. I mean, and Leo, when you say Nyanza, Kisi is Nyanza, lakini watu wengi wakisema Nyanza, all the news media, they mean Luo Nyanza. Those are the issues that we really need to address and tell these people that when you say Nyanza, mean Nyanza. Address any issues here, kama Simbarati wanasema ni Kisii, kama ni Nyamira wanasema ni Nyamira. Wakiongea kitu ya kama Bondo wanasema Nyanza, Kisumu wanasema Nyanza. That Nyanza Kisii is Nyanza. So hiyo tu ndio ninataka kusema kwamba huyu alikuwa anadanganya. Na Alex, when tulikuja hapa na mzee wako, your dad, hii ilikuwa ni Democrat state, lakini sasa uwezi. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Pen, even for clarifying that. I think when you talk of Nyanza, we are having Kisumu, Siaya, Homa Bay, Migori, Kisii, and Nyamira. And I know you people are old enough to understand that the term Luo Nyanza was during the Moi's era. I understand there was it a provincial commissioner who now decided to label them as Luo Nyanza. It was used to profile those people specifically from the Luo community. But Nyanza generally mean all the counties. Yes.
Leo, I want to remind Penny Nyagaka because he wants to lie to us here. In Jamira, when Nyagarama
help us know the truth. Help us know the truth now, because
when Nyagarama was the governor, 98%, including MCS, were ODM. Unaelewa? When Ongwae was the governor, 85 were what? Were ODM. So when you combine those two, and then you combine Luo Nyanza, except Kuria, you can say Kisi Kavirondo. Let me not even call it Luo Nyanza. It used to be called Kavirondo. The Kavirondo then becomes completely orange. Penny, you need to accept that.
No, I accept that. I don't have any issue with that. Nishakwambia hapa police station. Other my brothers back home, wananiambia, if you are running for anything, you have to be in ODM. I understand that fully. But ile ninasema ni kwamba we can change it. It is not permanent. Vile huyu Eddie alikuwa anasema ati 200 years hii America imekuwa blue state, red state. No, we are a new democrat. Wengine wetu tumeka, you know, my own brothers nimeshawaambia, my sisters nimeshawaambia, mimi nikiuliza kitu yoyote ni kwa KK. Na wananiambia hatuwezi hata sisi kukupigia hata kula. So I understand that, Alex. Ninasikiza hiyo. Na hii nasema ya America ni kwamba
so you are dreaming that you can change Siaya to UDM.
No. Why do I have to go to Siaya before I go to Kisii?
As long as Simba Arati is the governor, you cannot change it to the way you want it. You can't.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to accept that. But Nyamira, I can accept because Nyaribo is very weak. Nyamira, you can change it because Nyaribo is very weak. But in Kisii, anybody that will go against Simba Arati will go home. You know that. And you saw that today.
I understand Simba is very popular and some of us are involved in building the airport.
Hamjambo, tusalimiane kwa hewa. Asanteni sana watu wa Teso North hapa. Mmefurahi kuona baba? Mimi pia nataka kuwashukuru sana kwa sababu leo ni siku ngumu, lakini naona mmekuja kwa wingi. Na leo ni siku ya baba, si ni ukweli? Mimi nitasema kitu moja tu. Ya kwanza nataka kuendelea kutoa shukrani kwenyu sana. Hapa Teso North mulipigia mimi kura kwa wingi sana. Lakini mingi sana mulipea baba, si ndio? Baba ndio mulipea mingi, lakini pia mimi mulinipigia mingi sana.
Leo. Leo, you're on mute.
Sorry for that. Kenyan Revolutionary, that is the question I was asking you people.
Yes.
These meetings, are they making, I know Penn has been asking that the opposition is not doing anything to counter what William Ruto is doing, and if they continue like that, 2027, it will still be hard for them. So the question I'm asking, are these meetings strengthening the opposition and threatening William Ruto, or they're just normal meetings?
I first wanted to clarify. Again, I thank Pen Nyagaka for correcting Alex on that blue and red, whatever. It usually changes. It's not like Kenya. Kenya is different. We can't compare. That's why I was saying that whoever the person who was talking about US 200 years of blue and red, you can't liken that to the Kenyan context, because people are more you know, Americans are more mature democratically. You can have a place in New York, maybe the president might win, but you have a mayor and governor who's a Republican. Or, you know, Ohio can go to Democrats. Next, whatever it will be, to Republicans. When Obama was running, I think, is it Texas? I think Texas. Oh no, Texas. Bush won, but most of the southern states, which are traditionally conservative, went to Obama. So it's not like ODM in Nyanza, okay? And the mischief in what that person was saying is in this. He's trying to liken that to the US. But what he really meant was, he was saying that ODM should not tolerate anyone that's apart from that party, okay? Because if you hear the whole talking points of everyone, nearly everyone there, they were saying that they will not allow anyone. And in Kenya, when they say they won't allow you, it doesn't mean that they can even tolerate you to speak to the wananchi. And that's where my contention is that these people are standing up and saying that they won't even allow democratic space for anyone with a divergent view. Yes, I don't expect UDA to win a seat in Siaya, as Alex have said. That's not what we are saying. But what we are saying is this: they should let them wauze sera zao huko Siaya, Kisumu, whatever the case is, even where Rat is running. We don't expect them to win, but let them wauze sera zao. Beating them and chasing them away and celebrating, like you saw that speaker said, that is what we are saying is wrong, okay? And that's why I'm saying that I was pointing out the mischief in the point of what that speaker was saying. And with regard to your question, Leo, are these movements, will they move the needle? As I said before, and I think, what's her name? She left. She asked me the question, what's the connection? If you look at the pattern, before government of national unity or a handshake, it's always preceded by chaos. By chaos. For example, 2007, 2008, we had the chaos.
Isn't the water in that cup? Huh? Let me put it. Nurse, can I get some water too, please? Okay. Let me
Yo,
get the water for both
Choki,
of them.
mute yourself. Okay. Kenya Revolutionary, I think we've lost your voice. Kenyan Revolutionary, we can't hear you. Can you hear him? All right. Oh, sorry. You'll have to rejoin again. Brother Benson, karibu sana.
No, before Benson say something.
Yes.
No, I'm
Okay.
good.
All right. Oh, Benson, habari yako. Before you say something.
Mzuri sana, mister.
You know, there's this narrative that wants to be read here that Kisi can change as long as Simba Arati is the governor. I assure you, Leo, UDA is not going to win, and that's why they are fighting him. That's why they are shooting him. All MPs from Kibagedi, Varongo, Osoro is going to lose his seat unless he steals it the way he did. Jaheir is going to lose his seat unless you are allied to ODM. Unless you are allied to ODM right now in Kisi. you are not going anywhere. You must start looking for nomination ya ODM right now, which is going to be very expensive. Nyamira is where I'm doubting because of Nyaribo. But Nyaribo might not be the next governor of that place. An ODM person is going to be, and that is Okongo Omogeni. And if Okongo Omogeni becomes the governor, again, it is going to be orange. So let's not lie ourselves. You can predict the politics of a place. You know, when the first time Orengo was campaigning for his Senate seat, he did not even campaign. He went all around the country to campaign for Raila. But when it got to gubernatorial, it was so difficult that he had to stay home and fight for his seat. Unaelewa? But for Simbarati,
Yeah.
he has nobody to fight him. And if Okongo Mogeni decides to run, he has nobody to fight him. Those are facts.
Yes, Alex, tunakupata sana. Maybe kabla pia tukaribishe Brother Benson. Swali pia nitakuuliza, maybe when you come back you'll be able to respond to it. Brother Benson, okay, I can give you a minute before you attend to what you did attend is when I'll go to Stella. She's really
No,
been logging in and out.
just give it to Stella because
All right,
I want to
thank you.
attend something very emergency. Then I'll be back.
All right, no problem. Karibu sana. So Stella, karibu. I see your connection was having some challenges, so now I can see you're connected. Eh?
Yeah. I think I've been lost in some of the conversation. So unless you make me catch up how far you guys you've gone. But
No,
I
we've not
left.
gone so far. People are really talking when we are talking of how things are happening, like the senator declaring that Nyanza is orange and nobody should come and maybe try to make it yellow. So there was a comparison that he gave with the United States of America. So we had some guys saying that he is right and some guys saying that he is wrong. But we've come to conclusion that hey, it's true that there's some states that are blue and some states are red. But now things are changing. The blue states can be easily made red and the red states easily made blue. And we are also in argument that it is really hard to go try and make the ODM zones be a Jubilee, it's not a Jubilee, but a UDA zone. And maybe apart from that, Alex is also bringing something interesting, whereby he's trying to insinuate that Okongo Mogeni is likely to go for gubernatorial seat in Nyamira. So we are trying to see that these are not some of the things that are bringing problems, because when somebody who is a senator has already developed some interest in becoming a governor, what will follow next is that these people are going to create enmity and groups within the county, and it's going to lead to be fighting each and every time. Osoro wants to become the governor of Kisi, and that is why you'll find that there's a lot of fights over there. I don't know what is happening in Busia. It happened in Siaya, whereby the deputy governor also is interested in the seat of a governor. Same is happening in these other counties where you see people fighting day and night.
So I don't know. I think I should come in as a Wanjiko, so I'm not taking any divide. What
Yes.
I've come to learn is about when you are having politicians, there's something called political immaturity. I don't know who gave out this narrative, because if I'm from Siaya, I'm meant to be an ODM. Or if I'm from Rift Valley, I'm supposed to be an ODA. You see, as people are talking here saying, oh, sijui Kenya is a democratic nation and what and what. The thing is here, Leo, and this where I'm coming as a Wanjiko, the thing is, if me, Stella, maybe I'm from Rift Valley, I'm allowed even people, if I have masses of people, or maybe I'm someone who's investing somewhere in Kisumu,
Yeah.
And maybe I want to run as a maybe an MCA, or maybe I want to run as a governor and what. I'm given that at least some kujaribu tu. Unajua, wacha tujaribu
Yes.
huyu venye yako, tuone kama anaweza tufanyia service delivery. But hii kuoneshana ati, oh, because it is a clan, it has to remain to that clan. You know, we need to fight that dichotomy. We need to break the dichotomy of believing that if you're in Western, your bloodline will remain with ODM. Maybe I don't want to be on ODM, or maybe I don't want, nataka kuwa na chama yangu inaitwa hivi, and I come as Stella because ninasimamia wapi? Nasimamia Kisumu, ama nasimamia Narok, ama nasimamia kunaitangwa aje, Pokot, ama Turkana. At least you see, at least there's some length of democracy, there's some length of political maturity. Are you there for the need of the people? Are you there for your selfish gain? Remember, a leader is only chosen if you can able to have your community or your people who you can help them in the time of need. But now what we have seen, and I think this thing ilianzaga the time of the Moi time, there was something called tribalism, something where people felt like Kalenjins and the guys in Rift Valley, because it is a metropolitan place. You see, Rift Valley, like Nakuru, place like Naivasha, that place is metropolitan, because people from all over the country, they come there, they create a community, they create a town, they create a kind of a business environment. But it is so saddening, Leo, unaona watu wakati wanataka kwenda kuvote, people wanapanda basi, wanaenda kwao. You see, we are having an issue there. Why can't you vote in that place where you do your business, where you get your MP or your governor? So because you need these services for your business to operate smoothly. So if you're in Nairobi, let's say, let me not take in Nairobi, let's say you're in a place like maybe Naivasha. So this is a metropolitan or a satellite town, as we can call it. There are people from many divide of Kenya. We have Kikuyus, we have Jaluos, we have Kisis, we have Luyas, we have Teso, we have Sais and everything. That place is where it is your livelihood, where you depend on it, and that's where you create your own family and your home. So if I get sick, I don't need to get a bus. I go to Kisii, because Kisii, that is where I can get an hospital. I need, when I'm getting someone who's coming to be nominated to stand as a governor, I need the governor of that county of Naivasha who we have voted. He has to make a service delivery to be conducive for me and my family, because it's a livelihood end of the day. The school has to have books, teachers are paid. I need to go to the hospital at Naivasha, which they can put me on level 1. They need to create a business environment, which for me, I'm able to see the garbage has been collected. I want to see street lights and what. But it is so saddening, Leo, you'd see people, ikifika wakati wa, let's say kukona hii, wakati wa, the time people are when you're going to register, or maybe, or you want to update your election, that voters card,
Normally some voter verification, and something like that, yeah, before elections.
Okay, let me ask you, Leo, do I have to take a bus from Naivasha? I go to Kisumu to update because I need to choose someone from Kisumu because he's an ODM, because I'm a Jaluo from an ODM. No, you vote at your constituency where you are. Let me tell you, the only time you go home ni wakati wa Christmas, ama wakati kuko na mazishi, ama when you're going for your 70 years, you go and rest at home. But this is the issue here. As we have political people, I think people should go for governance and political classes to understand, if you're standing as a politician, do not stand because of your political clan, or you don't stand on the political ground because you feel that you're entitled to kurudisha asante. No, tumekuchagua utusaidie ama ufanye maisha yetu ikuwe rahisi. But hii maneno ya watu ati wanatoka Nairobi ati kwenda kuvote sijui Kisumu, munapanda basi, it is unfair. Let the Kisumu people vote on their end. Let someone in Nakuru vote on your end. You should not care whether you're a Jaluo or a Kisii or a what. You have to make sure that that politician mwenye umemchagua, you should hold him accountable. The time this politician anakuja Nairobi, it's when they're trying to legislate the laws. But that politician should not leave that constituency edonaka, ama MP, ama governor, because he has to oversee, are the school running, are the teachers being paid, are the hospital having medicine, are doctors being paid to avoid small fights of strike and theft. You need to see whether your county officials are liable to work in that office. They don't bring their cousins and friends to supply, and yet they give hot air. This is the issue. Let people, let politicians, I think even people should go, before you become a politician, I think the university should open at a section of maybe a diploma, 6 months kuoneshana what is political governance. But now here tunachaguaga, you see like that MP is it Embu? Someone who cannot.
That is the senator, the one who did some 2 weeks. So if you talk of starting this 6-month diploma, do you think these MPs will go to class or they'll get ways of getting these papers? They rarely go for a physical.
You see, the
class,
problem is,
yeah.
Let me. There's an issue here. Like on the place where I live, there are a lot of mechanics and there are a lot of business people who have the small businesses. Leo, the people who live around this place, most of them, they are from Western, others they are from Narok. I mean, mpaka wengine wametoka all the way from Tanzania, and those small businesses. So my governor is KJ. My MP is KJ. I don't know who is our governor because hata shughulikaji. Now, here is the issue, Leo. Whenever there is an issue, let's say kama bodaboda amegongwa ama amepelekwa hospitali, these people will come as one accord. They don't care kama wewe ni Masai, they don't care kama wewe ni Mjaluo, they don't care kama wewe ni Mugisi, they don't care kama wewe ni Muteso ama what. They will come one accord, wakuja wakuchangie uende hospitali. And hawatachukua ambulance kupeleka ati kwenye wewe ulizaliwa ati ama ulizaliwa Kisii ama ulizaliwa Mombasa. You'll be taken to that hospital in that constituency, which is Kenyatta National Hospital, or you're taken to Melchizedek. You get? But you see, when you go to those hospitals, and maybe huyo mwenye amefika hapo amekuwa attendant. Let me ask you, Leo, can't our politicians do the same thing? Or as Kenyans, we should take accountability. The politician mwenye anakuja hapa juu ya sunroof ya V8 yake, ama anakuja amekuja kutupatia hotel, heri tuchukue mtu mwenye ako na punda, mwenye atazunguka tujue, at least huyu akiongea, he understand what a safari is going. Because if you see, like people like, what I admire, there are people in those sides of, this side of where Olekina is, in Narok. There are people from
Narok, yeah.
Yes, there are people from, there is a Kikuyu, there is a Masai, there is a Jaluo. All of them, they are there to kusimamia hiyo kaunti yao, kwa sababu kuna mtu amesema huyu mtu anajua haki ya mwananchi na anajua venye tunaumia. Hata tukienda tukimpatia miti atadeliver. But hii watu kwanza kusema ati blue nation, yellow nation, we do not care. You have a narrow-minded, like you should leave the gutter from the 70s. Right now, we're in the current of the 2000s. Right now, even you see, even universities, they are not taking one culture. We have Maseno University. There are people who come from many parts of the country. You have people at Meru University. People come from many parts of the country. We have Garissa. So what is so different with this political field? because sasa watu wako na ile narrative, ni watu wetu, ni watu wetu, will still remain in the darkness because tukikuwa na hiyo mentality.
Thank you, Alex. I think you wanted to say something on that. Maybe I can give you.
Leo, let me ask you a simple question.
Yes.
Can Akisi become a governor of Siaya?
Akisi becoming a governor of Siaya, it depends, because if I go to Migori, there is a Somali who is an MP, who
No,
was a mayor.
Stop being cheeky. I'm
No,
asking, can Akisi become a governor of Siaya?
no,
Yes,
Akisi
he
cannot
can
become
come
a
as a
governor.
governor of Siaya.
No, Stella, you have already spoken too much. I'm asking the other one.
All right,
You
currently,
think
Kisi cannot become a governor of Siaya, because when you look at the position of governorship, uh, based on the voting pattern that I've been seeing, it's normally people start looking at, actually, it is regional. That is why even it is hard for engineer Nicholas Gombo to become a governor, whether he's voted or not voted, because the region where he comes from. So the governor will always be deemed to come from Ugenya or Alego. Those are the majority in Siaya. So it's hard for Akisi to become a governor in Siaya. But
Leo,
okay? Let
the
me ask
dream that
you.
Leo,
we're
can I
having as
ask
a
you a
country
question?
is that,
Okay,
yes,
let me ask
Leo,
you again. Can Aluo become a governor of Kisi?
it's really hard.
Leo,
The
Yes.
way our
Mm.
counties were composed, it was tribal.
So
The
that is the
Wako
mistake
draft,
that was done.
that we had 8 regions, whereby at least anybody can become a governor of any place. But Karua, who was then the Minister for Constitutional, refused. They could not agree. They decided to make districts and municipalities to be counties. So whether you guys agree or not, Stella, let me tell you, we made our country so tribal that it is difficult. It can be your desire or my desire that a capable person should be a governor of Kisumu. But when it comes to voting, people will vote in clanism. Akisi cannot go to Kakamega, however good he is, like Simbarati. He is loved everywhere and become a governor there. It cannot work. Why? Because we created counties that were tribal. And we need to relook at this thing because it's going to affect us in the future.
But Alex, maybe before even I engage Stella, I just want to ask you a question. That we missed it at the point when the counties were being created and the counties were tribal. Do you think there was going to be a way we are going to have counties that are not tribal? Because based on the migration patterns, you'll find that people were settled at specific places based on their tribes, whereby Kisis were settled in a specific place, the Luos, save for the metropolitan towns and cities. This is just because of migration. People are migrating in search of some employment opportunities. Do you think there was a way that we would have counties that are not tribal based? So, unless these counties are not physical boundaries, but I don't think it will be possible to have counties that are not tribal based,
No, you ask
whereby
the
we are
question.
having
Don't ask a
Kiambu County.
question and
Yeah.
answer it. Don't ask a question and answer it.
So I just wanted you to tell me if there is an otherwise of getting.
The Wako draft,
Yes.
the original Wako draft, had regions. And in those regions, there was a way how the governors were to be chosen so that tribalism should not be there. Okay? For example, there was the Transmara region. Kisii, Masai, Kilgoris, Bomet, in that region. So there was a way that and there was a law that was to protect so that tribalism could not be ingrained. But now, when you have a Kisii County, just Kisii County, where only Kisii are, what do you expect?
It's obvious.
So that's why I'm telling my sister that we made a grave mistake when we created our counties. And we need to relook at that before it's late. Because if we don't, for instance, Stella, right now, you cannot go to Kisii and look for a job because 98% of the people that work in the county are Kisiis. Because if you try to employ people from other areas, the governor will be accused of giving people jobs from another place.
But I think it works in metropolitan counties. In Kisumu, I remember the last cabinet, and the people really complained, and they were on Nyong'o's neck, like, why have you given Mora this department of trade? That is when Mora was taken from it is the Kisumu what and whatever. So people are really like, no, there are so many people in Kisumu, there are so many Luos around. Why did Nyong'o just have to go and get somebody all the way from Kisii to come and be made a minister in charge of trade?
Leo, I need to ask something here.
Okay, ask.
Because you're talking about, you have to be a Kisii, you work in Kisii. You have to be a Masai, you work in Narok. You have to be a Kikuyu to work in Nyeri. Remember, the thing is we are trying to destroy something called tribalism dichotomy. We need to do away with this thing. I want to refute with Dani Ochoki. Ochoki, you cannot tell me that because I am Stella and maybe I've been qualified to go and open a bank in Kisii to benefit the people. And yet, when I was done, the interview and the shortlisting was done, I was the person who was suitable to go and stand for that area. So as a Kikuyu, I'll stand there and I see that Kweli, when I open this bank over there, it is going to benefit the farmers in Kisii and it's going to benefit the community in the Kisii. I'm able to give service delivery. Service delivery does not have any color or language or tribal background or what.
Stella, I'm not disagreeing with you.
No, let me
You
finish.
are very right.
Let me finish. As you've just told Nani Leo that someone in Kisii or their work or draft and what, it never stopped any Kenyan to work in any constituency. The thing is, it's a mentality of the people of Kisii, and this thing mentality is these politicians ndio wanakuja wanaharibu wananchi wa Kisii ama Kisumu. I am entitled as a Kenyan. I am entitled to buy land wherever I feel like. I am entitled by the Constitution. If I feel that I'll go a place like Narok, and they say that I am a competent businessman and I'm a competent businesswoman, I'm a philanthropy. Wakuja niambie mama, ukuja utusimamie, tutakusupport upate miti juu tunajua wewe wewe ndio unajua kuelewa shida ya hii constituency. They are not looking at me as a Kikuyu, they are looking at me as a person who is philanthropist, and they understand what are the need of that county, what the politician has failed to do but an individual amekuja kufanya. I can give you an example like in Meru. There's an MP ni Muhindi. Na wao Muhindi kwao nyumbani ni Kisumu. So ukiona ule huyo wa Meru, because hata yeye alikuwa anaenda anafanyaga biashara ya kutransfer miraa, ana alikuwa ametafutia even Meru farmers market ya kuenda kupeleka miraa in Marsabit and making miraa iende mpaka UK. So they believed that these people of Akina Ngovo, they said, Ngovo community, tuchukue huyu Muhindi, yeye ndio anajua nini shida za the trade ya miraa. But we cannot have a tribal mentality that if I am a Kisii, I have to be a Kisii to work there. I cannot get a Kikuyu, or I cannot get a Jaluo, or I cannot get someone like a Masai to go and work in Kisii because I'm threatening people of Kisii not getting job. That's a long mentality.
But Stella,
and this is what I'm trying to say, Ochoki. Destroy
but Stella,
the tribal dichotomy. Look as Kenya as a democratic, and everybody should have the rightful place where they want to stay.
but Stella, you are not understanding me. Stella, you are not understanding me. What I'm saying is that I agree that what you are saying is right. The problem is that it is not working, because when a Kisii governor takes over, he employs, according to the law, and 25% of other employees should come from other tribes. But you find none of the counties have adhered to it. What I'm telling you is that our counties have become so tribal to a point that we need to change the system. I'm not advocating that we should be tribal. What I'm saying is that the statistics I read once in the newspaper that some counties have employed 99.9%, not even one person from outside the county, which is wrong. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm only saying that the way the counties were made, they become so tribal that we need to find another solution so that we cannot continue like that. I don't think you are understanding me.
I understand. The issue is it's here, Ochoki. And this is what I'm saying. Like you, because you believe that this work or draft which made the 8 counties and what, to me and you, what would be the solution? Is it you're going to tell the governor? Remember, a governor's office or whoever, this is a government office, so they should not take one tribe. Maybe you don't know that maybe that one tribe, there are people who are qualified, they decided, let me leave Nairobi and go work for my county. You cannot fault that. But what I'm trying to say, let's break this tribal dichotomy. If your MP or your governor who is there, unamwambia there are a lot of people of one tribe, let's go back and see if they were qualified for those jobs, because at times you can go and put people there, they are not qualified because watasema hakuna kitu utanifanya na huyu ni mtu wa kwetu. Then hapo sasa kuna kuanga, let me finish.
Stella, Leo has just given you Stella, Leo has just given you an example when Nyogo wanted to be professional. He brought a Kisii to be a minister for trade. He was fought like crazy. What I'm telling you is tribalism has eaten our counties. And I'm saying we need a solution whereby if I'm a governor, I should get people who are competent. But when I try to get people who are competent to 7-11 Kikuyu Kisumu, the governor will be beaten by the MCA. I mean, Nyongo got a lot of problems because of Mora. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm only saying that the counties have been so tribalized and we need a solution.
A solution is just to have this. Make the people at the counties who are member education.
It is not as easy as you think.
It is easy as
It is not as easy as you think. Stop lying to yourself. It is not as easy.
Let me
Today,
help you guys. Let me help you guys. Maybe
no, it is not as easy as you think.
I want to help you there.
In Nyamira, if you bring a Kikuyu to become a minister for finance, I'm telling you, the MCS will stop the governor.
So Alex, maybe if I try to buy in the idea of Stella, when we were young, there used to be this thing called civic education. Do you think the government can create a certain department and we have things like the chiefs? The academy having the chiefs, they don't have much roles, so they can organize the chief barazas. Just remember, before the elections, we normally see the IBC doing some civic education, telling people, okay, this is how you need to vote, this is why you need to vote. Do you think if a government is serious, they can't afford to do some civic education? Actually, I know even the curriculum that people are doing, maybe in school, I think we also need to relook at the education system because people go to school for
That's
the
a
sake
good
of
question,
passing
Leo.
exams. Yes.
Leo, that's a good question. But again, when you look at the national government, which is supposed to do that civic education, there is tribal hegemony that is so heavy. How can they interfere again with the counties when they know that themselves are employing only Kalejits and Kikuyus?
Leo, can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
Uliza swali as we wind up. Yes.
I want us to come. I want us to come as not politicians, not dividing the politicians. I'm coming a forum like a human being.
Yes.
Leo, the way he's saying that Mora and Nyongo something. No problem. Hakuna shida. Mimi the issue hapa na nimesema civic education, we do not need money to have this thing to happen. We can get guys of boda because I know everybody who's looking for business in here in Kenya, they would say Nairobi is not conducive. Let me go to DC. I think there it is much conducive business where I can work. Remember, you created a family. The family has grown and you have developed yourself there. Because they know that there's a Kikuyu there, there's a Jaluo there, and there's a Narok, people coordinate. Let me tell you, on the ground, Leo, Kenyans are not stupid. And I'm telling you, hawa wananchi unawaona hapa, they come to one accord. Wanaendaga wanakaa kwa baraza, they start discussing. They start saying, look here, sasa sisi huyu governor mwenye amekuja hapa hakuna kitu ametufanyia. Aya, let me give an example. For example, if there is an hospital and there is only one surgeon who is a Kikuyu, are you trying to tell me that you're going to get a TC surgeon akuja nini?
Hi, Alex.
Hi.
How are you?
Okay. All right. I've sorted that.
So what I'm saying, Leo, I'm coming as Wanjiko. And this is what I'm trying to explain to Ochoki. He should come out from that tribal mentality. From him, I want to hear to him, what is your solution? To me, on my solution, I would say, the first thing, utapatana na hawa watu wa mama mboga, hawa watu wa vijana, hawa wadogo. You ask them, what do you need end of the day? They don't care whether you're a Kikuyu, because our problems don't come in tribal lines. They come as a national issue. I cannot access hospital because there's no medicine, because like that. What I'm saying is that let's have civic education. Kwa hawa watu kwenye wanasimama hapa, watu wa boda, mama soko, you don't need to have big barazas. when we have hospitals which are there, which are funded by the national government, we don't need to have doctors who are Kisii alone. We need to get even doctors from even other parts of the county, or we get someone who's qualified to simamia hiyo hospitali, at least tujue. But the issue hapa, Leo, and this is the problem, it is that politician mwenye anakuja ana brainwash the guys who are trying to do what, kutafuta kura. And this is what hata hawa watu wenye nasema, like right now we are moving on the 20th century. Any MP or any governor akuja seme huyu ni mtu wetu ama nini, they should say hapana, huyu mtu ametusaidia. They remove that tribal mentality so that everybody is free to work in any constituency. Even a MCA or a governor wameleta Kisii 90%, only 2% are performing and the rest are not working. So there is no service delivery kwa county because kutakuwa na incompetency kwa such officers of the governor. Then there is no service delivery, there is no accountability. And this is what I'm trying, and I'm trying to tell Ochuka, we need to come out from that tribal dichotomy. We need to have civic education. Watu waende soko waseme hakuna haja tuchague mtu mwenye haezi tufanyia service delivery. Hakuna haja ukue na Mkisii mwenzako anaona
Leo, now your friend is dominating the
Okay, I gave you this.
Now,
what are you
what
going to
I
do?
will do, I will go out because now we are not having a debate.
No, you're not going out. Actually, we are all
I'm
going out.
because
Listen,
she's
we are having 4
dominating.
minutes left, so
No,
she's
no, no,
just
no, no, no,
giving
no,
a
no. I
final.
don't want dominance. Allow other people to talk. And
You are the other
like,
person. There are not any other people. So do this. We all have 4
no,
minutes
I have to
call
go
it a
out.
day.
Dominance
So
is not good. Somebody
before
cannot
you
talk
go
for
out,
15 minutes
give your final
while we
submission.
wait. And when we talk for 4 minutes, they talk for another 15 minutes.
So I'm
That's
giving you 2
nonsense.
minutes to give your final. Actually, we all have 4 minutes to leave. It's been so great. So I just want to give you 2 minutes, Alex, so that you tell us. Actually, we've seen that the political scene is changing. We are sliding and getting back to where we used to be, and we are bragging of being a civilized society. So what can we do? You've heard Stella is talking of having a civic education. So you, in your view, should we continue with the current uncivilized kind of politics that you're doing, politics full of tribal perception, politics full of violence, politics full of hatred, whereby for you to be able to win a seat, you have to create enmity between you. You have to create an enmity so that you can be able to get more people who are going to hate the other, so that you can be able to ignore. What do you think now, as a Kenyan, as a citizen who want to see things done in the right way? What do you think we should do as a country?
I'll give you an example of today.
Yeah.
Today in Teso, when Otuoma stood up, he was
Yes.
booed by the Teso because he has only employed people from Funyula and he has not employed any Teso people. And the Teso people told Baba that they are not in the government. You heard that.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is this. It is not my desire to see such kind of things. But unfortunately, they are going on. You just told me that for you to become a governor in the Siaya, you have to come from Game or Ugenya. Unfortunately. Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm telling you the facts that are on the ground. But there are solutions that she's giving out which must be done. But they can't be done because of one thing. These people have been used, and I don't think the national government is ready to find solution so that we can change from 47 counties to regions whereby we can stop tribalism. So I'm not advocating for what is going on, but I have to acknowledge what is going on. Some counties like in Migori, 97% of the workers in the counties are Luos. So incompetence is there. Why? Because you employ people who are not even competent. So I'm just giving you what is on the ground. I'm not saying that what I'm saying is what should happen.
Yeah.
In Elmira, 99% of the people who work there are Kisis.
Mm.
They don't want to look competent people from outside who can help the county so that it can move forward. That's why Nyamira has been
Yeah.
left behind. You compare Nyamira and Kisi town, Nyamira is so back behind.
Mhm.
Why? Because of tribalism. You have to hire your own people. And that does not only happen in, but there are some counties that she has named, like
Mm.
Naivasha, like Narok, which have employed people from other places.
Mm.
These counties are progressive, but majority of them, including your Siaya County, you know very well. We have
Yeah.
given an example of a metro, the third largest city in Kenya, Kisumu, trying to
Yeah.
employ Akisi, and there was a fury to a point that she had to be fired because the MCS could not stand that.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving a prognosis of what is happening in Kenya. And I'm asking, should
Yeah.
we continue that way? And if we continue that way, what are we going to get? Are we going to progress? So I'm not saying that's
Uh-huh.
what I want. I'm saying that is the fact on the ground.
I get it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Stella, your final submission. I know you've already proposed that we can do some civic education, and this civic education is going to change people's perception uh, and understand that you not only need to come from a specific community, or you don't need to be served by somebody from your community, or is when you say that you are benefiting, like the cases whereby they're saying people are saying that you see you've not employed our people. Do we need to go for the qualified, or we need to look at our people?
Okay, for my final submission,
Yeah.
we should look on the quality of the people who be working in counties to
Yeah.
deliver, to have service delivery. And we must have something called diversity. So if me Kikuyu works in Kisumu, the next year I'm
Yeah.
taken to Kisii. If the other year, then as in Leo, even government offices these days, they
Yeah.
employ everybody from every part of the divide of this country.
Yeah.
The same thing counties should be doing like that, not getting one tribe to be in one office. Then there's a lot
Yeah.
of incompetence, because people have an attitude issue, because they're not going to
Yeah.
work, because they're saying huyu ni mtu wangu yanangojea mshahara, and that's why the breed of corruption inaanzaga hivyo. Another thing I'm saying, having these barazas, we do not need money. The only thing is only governance and telling them what it is better for you. Another thing, these politicians should have to go for class for political governance, so they
Yeah.
understand when you're going there, you're not going for your own people or your own clan. you're going there for a national, you're going there for a national duty, or maybe for your county duty. You should not decide that that you'll only serve a certain type of community because you belong in that community. That should not happen. So for me, it should be diversity, civic education, and also governance issue. That is the thing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everybody. Guys, we'll have to end it there, and I think we'll proceed tomorrow. It was really great, and people are now speaking. The problem that we're having in the country is greed. We are having tribalism, and we are having people who believe that if it is not them, then nothing can happen, and that is why we are seeing the country maybe rolling into anarchy and things happening the way they should not happen. So till tomorrow, I just want to say thank you. And for the ones who are going to sleep, I wish you a good night. The ones waking up, it's a good morning. So let us meet tomorrow, same time, same place. And to my panelists, that is Stella and Ochoki, sorry. I just want to say thank you for finding time so that we can be able to discuss the matters Kenyan. Asanteni sana na muwe na wakati mwema.
Mimi nataka munisaidie mahali moja, munizungumzie huyu seneta wetu tafadhali, Bwana Omutata. Wewe sasa unataka kunipeleka kotini, na ile kazi mimi nafanya ni kupangia watu hawa ajira. Kwani sasa utaki hawa watu wapateko kazi? Please, hokia tafadhali. Ama namna gani jameni, watu wa Busia? Nisaidieni jameni, mumuongeleshe huyu jamaa apunguze mambo ya kotini. Yeye amesema ni rafiki yangu, na ni kweli ni rafiki yangu. Ama namna gani? Tunaelewana? Na unajua uzuri ya huyo Kia, hata agenipeleka kotini si mbaya, kwa sababu yeye hajapanga kuharibu biashara ya mtu, si ndio? At least hajapanga maandamano. Unajua kuna wengine wananitisha ati usipofanya hii tutapeleka maandamano. Sasa hawa wengine ndio wabaya zaidi. Eri huyu, okay?